my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe it, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm honest, I get my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
All I wanna do is to put rounds around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you, I do, I love you, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you. All I wanna do is to put my arms around you I do need you. I love you, I do need you. I do need you.
Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight.
When it's coming at you like monsters in the night, and you feel the danger that makes you wanna hide. When the cards are stacked against you and you're standing on the edge, now's the time, now's the time. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other. 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 When you're falling faster and don't know where you are, you feel the danger closer than your heart. When the weight is getting heavy and the future is unsteady, close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about all the dreams you keep inside. Think about all the ones you love. I know this beating heart will be my guide. I know that we can overcome. When the world's so cold and we're losing hope, I need her, I need her. When the darkness comes and we're overrun, yeah, I need her. That's when we need each other.
Hello everyone and welcome to the final qualifier for the Commonwealth Esports Championships 2022, where we head to the European region to figure out which of 5 teams will secure that last spot at the Commonwealth Esports Championships. We're looking forward to seeing which of these teams it is, and Formal, I mean, these are some pretty strong teams. I think we're expecting a high level of competition today.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those regionals that's going to paint the picture of a true medal favorite when we do make it to that main event at the Commonwealth Games themselves. It's a bit unfortunate that only one of these 5 teams will be making it through, but when you look at the lineup of Wales, Scotland, and even Northern Ireland, you kind of feel like any of these teams realistically could make waves in that main event.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about exactly who those 5 teams are. As you've alluded to, I think our kind of big 3 today, the 3 we really expect to be contesting for that spot, are Northern Ireland, are Scotland, and are Wales. Those 3 nations from the British Isles. England, of course, having a guaranteed spot as, well, England in the Commonwealth Esports Championships. And joining them in today's qualifier will be the smaller island states of Jersey and then Gibraltar from, well, down in southern Spain, but still a British territory. And I think those 2 teams, well, they're outliers, but still a loss for one of those top 3 teams could spell disaster, I think, if they do end up dropping a series to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering that between these 5 teams, only one team is able to get through, it's going to be quite contentious towards the top. So taking care of business, as it were, is going to be a goal, I feel like, for the top 3. Meanwhile, for Gibraltar in particular, I mean, it's such a small territory. The fact that they even have a team to compete with, I know the squad is super, super excited in and of itself. It's still that great opportunity for both them and Jersey. And the good news for everyone out there, we will be showcasing, at least at some stage, all 5 of these teams on this mainstream.
Yeah, I have to tell you, my experience with Rocket League in Gibraltar is that at one point, about a year and a half ago, I ended up at 4 AM in a call with 3 guys from Gibraltar who played Rocket League for another few hours. And that's about all I know about the scene down there. So we're hoping that we can learn a little bit more about it as games start today. And we're hoping that, yeah, they can put on a bit of a show for us. As you say, very excited to have them here. Jersey as well, a fairly small population compared to some of the other teams competing here today. And we'll see how those go. But I think there are, when you look at those 3 big teams we were talking about, you know, the Wales, the Scotland, and the Northern Ireland, there are names, recognizable names on those teams, and that starts to get very scary very quickly.
Absolutely, and in fact, we're going to be looking at 2 of those teams in our first match as well. Northern Ireland going to be taking on Wales. Now, yes, Northern Ireland and Scotland could be considered contenders, but in my eyes, at least, Alex, Wales definitely looks like the favorite for the day.
Yeah, I mean, Wales, look, there is one person we've seen across all of these qualifiers that has a mechanic named after them. And yeah, he's here in this game. I mean, that's got to tell you something about the level going on here. Breezy, Foxy, and Tadpole, the team coming out from Wales. Breezy obviously has been an RLCS player for a very long time now, but Foxy and Tadpole, both very strong players in their own rights as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough team, I think, for a lot of people to beat out. Obviously, most of the eyes are going to be on, well, Breezy themselves. Tadpole, been a little while since they've been, you know, in the spotlight in that competitive scene, so I'm going to be curious to see what sort of form Tadpole is in. And then you have, you know, the complete opposite end in Foxy, so one of those younger up-and-comers right now, still trying to make a name for themselves, and the opportunity to play against, you know, 2 veterans of the scene, I think is fantastic for Foxy. A strong performance here could open a lot of doors for this young player in the future.
And I think, listen, I have to admit it up front here. I'm a little bit biased, all right? This Northern Ireland squad features a lot of players who are very active in the URL Ireland community, which is a community that really gave me my start in kind of talking about Rocket League, doing a bit of casting and stuff. So seeing the squad of Jaffa, Gilzo and Pengu coming here, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. And of course, a lot of people may know the coach for this team as well. John, aka Always, is very active in the competitive Rocket League scene as well. Spends a lot of time moderating the Reddit chat, the Reddit for that and things. So this is a team that I hold a little bit near and dear to my heart. I'm going to be cheering them on today. I have to let you know that up front.
I'm perfectly fine with that as well. I mean, I have a soft spot for John as well. I think everyone who kind of follows the competitive Rocket League scene absolutely should. Definitely a well-respected member, and I'm excited to see how he kind of works as a coach and whether or not this team is sort of up to the task to pull off that upset in this very first round, because with only one team getting through, an early loss against Wales definitely is going to hurt, I would say, Northern Ireland's chances. Not make it impossible. There's still, you know, three-way tie shenanigans, but with the expectation of Wales being that team to beat, having to have them first match of the day, it's going to be a tough ask for the Northern Ireland squad.
It's true, and there's always kind of two ways to look at that though, right? Which is, hey, maybe we can catch Wales off guard, maybe they're not warmed up and we can just come out of the gates a little bit faster than them. Or as you say, there is the other side of that, which is the underdog hasn't had time really to set themselves as well. Wales with a little bit more experience maybe comes in and does just sweep through them. It's going to really, I think, show in the first 2 minutes of this game one kind of how we expect this series to play out, whether Wales do come in just full power going straight up, or if Northern Ireland can come out of the gate swinging, can manage to maybe score a couple of quick goals and get Wales off balance.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the challenge for them, and we'll see if they're going to be able to bring it out. Again, this Wales team is a super exciting one to see how they come together. When you look at the Northern Ireland squad, they are also running a sub, if I'm not mistaken. Smokies is not going to be playing for them, who was originally part of that lineup. So we'll see how that is going to affect them when we do get up into that match. Now, just one last time before we get into it, it will be a single round robin between the 5 teams competing. We will be streaming half of them, as 2 games will be playing at once. And again, the winner of this round robin phase is the team that gets to go to the main event of the Commonwealth Games. So winning these series are going to be super, super important. You don't want to make one misstep as we are headed to the pitch. Wales are in blue, Northern Ireland in orange.
Yeah, let's see how this series ends up playing out. It's early aggression from Wales straight off the kickoff. They're contesting that back wall, and that's a shot launched towards the back wall as well again. Gilzo there trying to cover it. This is dangerous across the net for Northern Ireland. And Wales, well, they're asking questions early on. So far, the answers are there for Northern Ireland. They've held on from this first onslaught.
Yeah, they're able to kind of play some pretty decent defense, and now Gilzo had a chance to go on the offense. Tadpole steals it away. Still an opening from the bump on Foxy, who was able to recover and make the save. Jaffa through the corner, does find a teammate. Ball's going to drop in front of the net. Breezy is there, easy peasy. Tries to clear it across the middle, leads to a nice pass, and Northern Ireland, they're not the fastest team right now, but they're looking like they have decent control in rotations.
Yeah, they're absolutely controlling that ball, as you say, and, well, they've had a little bit of pressure of their own. Both teams now spending some time in the opposition half, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. We're hoping for a good day of competitive Rocket League here. That seems like what we might get here. In first series, that's a chance. Tadpole off the back wall. It was a good pass from Breezy, and there's the follow-up. It's off post once again. A good save. Jaffa, heroics on the goal line, will keep that goal line safe for the time being. Pengu with 0 boost still gets a decent 50 against Breezy, and now it's up to Gilzo to try and carry this ball out. Infield pass to Jaffa. Good team play to get that one clear for the time being.
My goodness, the EU defense already in full effect as Tadpole with the late reset got the ball to the backboard. Too much trust, though, from the teammates. No one there to follow it up for the strike. Foxy as well tries to play the backboard. Breezy set up with a chance. We'll be looking to spike it right down. That's the second near-perfect setup from Breezy. And again, though, Wales left without scoring that goal. As, whoa, a fake from Tadpole did cause one defender to bite. Eventually, though, the clear does come through.
I'm a little bit scared because Breezy, as you say, has gotten a couple of really good setups so far. And if his teammates start reading those a little bit better, that's going to cause massive problems for Northern Ireland defense. Gilzo cuts off Pengu there as well. Slight miscommunication is going to allow this attack a little bit more time to breathe, but it is well cut out by Pengu, recovering from a small mistake and getting this clear. A demo on Gilzo in the middle of the pitch means that that is going to be the end of any pressure Northern Ireland have. Foxy in the middle, Breezy trying to pass, won't find it. Defense of Northern Ireland continuing to hold.
That was a very dangerous 50 right there for Wales. I mean, a little bit more power behind it. That would be a Northern Ireland lead. Instead, it's going to be Breezy again with the late flick. Musty. Breezy makes it 1-0.
You cannot give that much space to a player like Breezy in front of net. He's going to show off. I got to tell you, in chat right now, that's just Jaffa saying, oh, hi, Breezy. That's, I think it got to be the sentiment. You're just gotten a reminder that, yeah, you are playing up against someone who has been at the top of the game for years now.
Yeah, I mean, not just one. There's two players realistically. I mean, you can look at Tadpole as well. Might not have been there for a year, but has that experience. Either way, Northern Ireland still need to play this one fearless. They're on the attack. Breezy will collect it with a bit of post defense and take it along the corridor. Northern Ireland slowing it down, but again, Wales, they're just getting stronger first touches, I feel like. They're able to keep that ball kind of tight. They are slowing the pace just a little bit at times, whereas Northern Ireland, they're starting to look more and more chaotic almost. The rotations haven't been as clean. That angle, though, is saved. It doesn't matter. Jaffa bangs it through, and we have ourselves a tied game.
Pengu beating out Tadpole and then just reading Foxy, was playing it a bit hesitantly, launches the shot. Breezy's in an awkward place, still gets a good touch, still nearly got it clear. Jaffa there to follow up. Northern Ireland, they're playing a decent team game at the moment. They are there in support. They are matching just in terms of pace around the pitch what Wales are bringing out. The quality of touches from Wales has been a little bit better at times. It's what's allowing them more possession. It's what's keeping them in front of this blue net a lot of the time. But Northern Ireland, they're still in this game 1-1 with just over 100 seconds left.
As we see Tadpole get a nice clearing touch, actually, keeping Northern Ireland back on their own back post. They needed to bang it back up the field, and they actually find the gap to do so. Ooh, very late read right there out of Breezy. Enough to find Tadpole, though, who's looking at a semi-open net. Now it's completely open, but they missed the shot! All the hard work was done. Wales is going to get a second chance at the goal, but this time Ireland's defense is there.
You do have to question what happened to Tadpole there, because that was a completely open net. It looked like an easy tap in, maybe not realizing that the demo had come through. I'm not sure, but that is potentially a moment that could come back to haunt them. Breezy playing it slow off his own back wall, wants to just buy time, let his teammates get in. A bit of a double commit there, but Foxy is there for the follow-up, won't lose possession, and that's an important second touch to beat out Gilzo. Jaffa takes it to the wall. Foxy, demo onto Pengu. There's another open net. This time Tadpole doesn't miss, and the demos come up clutch for Wales.
A little bit of redemption right there for Tadpole. You can't miss two open nets, as the demo game has opened up multiple doors now for this Wales side, and that's something Northern Ireland is going to have to be cautious of moving forward, especially considering how far back they've been forced to play defense. It feels like at any given moment there's one, sometimes even two players playing off that backboard, and that's just prime picking for the Wales offense.
Good pass from Tadpole. Breezy just a little bit slow off the ground to reach that one. Pengu, though, is still underneath this ball. It's a good pass. Jaffa, do you have the redirect available? He flicks it high. The first player to the ball will be Foxy. A nice little attempt at a team play by Northern Ireland. Pengu is keeping that ball in the danger zone, but Jaffa and Gilzo completely backed off to try and find boost. Jaffa reads well there. Northern Ireland are still pushing, but with less than 30 seconds on the clock, it's going to take a lot of work to get them into a scoring position.
It's the physicality that I'm seeing both on offense and defense from the Wales side now that's keeping Northern Ireland off balance at times. We know this team can be threatening if they are able to find that space. They just have been denied, especially when they're on that blue side of the pitch. Now, 10 seconds to go. Jaffa finds the gap, finds the shot with Gilzo, and that's how you tie the game in the final moments.
Great recovery by Jaffa, and you can see he wrong foots Tadpole a little bit. It looks like he's going to take it into that corner, and instead hard cuts into the middle. Gilzo comes in with pace. 7 seconds. We have a tied game. We could be getting an overtime in game one.
I think we are going to be getting that overtime as we hit our final 5 seconds. Ball falling down in the corner. Foxy will make the read. Tadpole with the follow-through, crossing it up in traffic. Ball hits the ground, and we're looking at a tie ball game. 2-2 in our opener here today.
I'm loving this so far. This is exactly the Rocket League we were hoping. And as a reminder, Scotland waiting in the wings. There's Breezy up for that one as well. Nearly finds a double touch. Tadpole to try and control this ball. It's a little bit awkward to catch on this one. Will manage to do so. And now getting up, doesn't have the boost to contest. Gilzo gets a decent clear. That's another demo that may open space. Jaffa manages to clear it, and Pengu, the ball nearly landing on his head as he respawns. Foxy completely out of boost, won't get anywhere. Breezy is just silently waiting, patient as the ball comes back to him. Passes down to Tadpole, and Tadpole with a clean finish.
Breezy has been so effective playing through these corners right now and finding just perfect dish after perfect dish, cooking up so many nice passes. And we're starting to see the Wales team start to grow in confidence as well, I think, throughout that game. They're playing further and further forward. They're more eager to bump. They're more eager to disrupt. And more importantly, with that last pass and that last setup, finally Tadpole was there to bang it through. And if Wales is starting to find, their groove in this fashion, if this is what we're going to see from this team, physicality as well as strong team play, it's going to be tough for everybody in this region to take them down. And I'm excited to see how they continue to grow as they continue to play and practice with each other.
Absolutely. I think, as you mentioned, the physicality is a pretty clear issue for Northern Ireland right now. I mean, I think that's something they're going to need to figure out, maybe incorporating a few more bumps and demos into their own play, or just getting better at avoiding what's coming out of Wales. The other side of that, and what started to happen, especially in that overtime, which I think has to be a little bit scary for you, is Breezy got much more patient. He started sitting back, he'd have a full tank of boost, and the clears from Northern Ireland, honestly, throughout the game, some of them were good, but a lot of the time they were ending up near the halfway line. And if Breezy is just sitting there, ready to collect a kind of weak touch with a full tank of boost, he's going to create pressure. He's going to end up causing problems for you. And that's something that Northern Ireland also need to be very aware of heading into this second game.
Yeah, but that's also to be expected right now, especially as Breezy starts to develop more of that trust with the team and the realization that they're going to be able to handle things. Obviously, Breezy comes in probably as the strongest individual player within the qualifiers today, so they have the ability to pull off the mechanics when they have to. We saw that Musty to sort of open up the scoring for today. I hope that one did get clipped. But as the team starts to play around them a little bit more, Breezy's able to play patient, able to create space just by playing the sort of field in and of itself, the pitch, I should say. That's going to become more and more devastating for the Northern Ireland side. I really feel like if Northern Ireland is going to get back in this game, they've got to be a bit more mindful of those first defensive touches and find ways to get their resting place off of their own backboard.
True, and the danger player for Northern Ireland right now is Jaffa as well. He's the player who really has been trying to cause the problems for Wales, as we saw a good couple of touches out of him there to try and move the ball down the other end of the pitch. Hasn't lasted, as it is Wales straight back on the offensive, and Pengu sitting on that back wall, and the ball is far too far away for a man with very low boost in the tank to contest. Here's Jaffa, gets a good read on Tadpole. That rockets the ball across the face, but Breezy's sitting there happy, waiting to try and pass it out to Foxy. It's good defense from Breezy. Jaffa, definitely the man I'm keeping eyes on the other side at the moment.
I think Jaffa is definitely going to be one who needs to step up, but I'm also I was keeping my eye on Gilzo as well. I mean, he has been kind of the person who's filling that supportive role to Jaffa, kind of being the striker out of the setups, and we'll see whether or not that will continue to be the case. Breezy going for another reset, keeps it high, doesn't quite get that last 50, however, and the Ireland defense does hang on.
As they manage to demo Breezy as well, just sitting a little bit, sitting duck on the line. There's an attempt at a bump onto Breezy one more time on the goal line, but it doesn't come quite off. That does mean it's down. That's a good pass from Jaffa, looking for Gilzo, but Gilzo rotating backwards, couldn't find the boost in time. Tadpole will have a chance to drop it down. Pengu has contested that, it's dropping slowly in front of net, and the boost steal comes through from Wales. That means Breezy has open space, just Jaffa to beat, and Jaffa gets good defense. Breezy does run out of boost on the way through.
Oh, every time Breezy is left alone, it's so dangerous. What a cut by Tadpole. Gets past the first defender, runs out of boost before the second. Wales, they're threatening this opening goal. They're getting closer and closer with each strike. Ireland's defense, no boost. Little hope, and somehow they are hanging on. Tadpole with another attempt, this time going for the backboard. It's going to be centered. Foxy and Breezy go for it, yet it's Jaffa. Open field in front of them, punishing the double connect. This has to go in, and it goes high.
Oh, the temptation to get one last touch. Oh, this pass will look so good and we'll have more power. And oh, beats his own teammate, denies the opening goal as Northern Ireland had weathered so much pressure. That would have been so against the run of play. They will not find it. Wales stay alive here for the time being, and Tadpole is straight back on the offensive, looking for a flip reset. Will not get a shot on target with it. Northern Ireland will be kicking themselves after that.
Oh, they're not going to get another opportunity like that in this game, you have to believe. They're going to need to work a bit more for that goal. An unfortunate double commit from Wales does not get punished. Wales went right back to the attacking side, and now only one defender back. It's another double commit, though. Tadpole a little bit off balance. At least will steal the boost away. Breezy open net. That's going to go in. That's the 1-0 lead.
It's a great finish by Breezy. He has the space. He sees the ball dropping, and Jaffa with a bit of a miss on the back wall gives him all he needs to slam that one home. It's 1-0 to Wales. It could have been 1-0 to Northern Ireland, but this last game went to overtime. I don't think Northern Ireland are out of this one yet, but they need to take the chances when they drop for them.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what they can get off this kickoff. Pengu actually nearly gets the second touch. But the ball will stay in the corner, at least for now. Tadpole with the pinch, has Foxy upfield, going to center it, going to strike it. Jaffa prepared for the shot, showing respect to the attacking prowess of Wales.
attacking prowess there has been. Right, oh, that's Tadpole. Oh, that's a little bit dirty. What a way to score your second.
And I feel like what we're seeing right now is a little bit of a mechanical difference between these two teams. The late reset turning into the shot. Again, Breezy already pulling off that slick musty. We haven't seen that same innovation coming from the Northern Ireland side yet in this series. Granted, we haven't really seen Northern Ireland with much space to kind of showcase what they can do, and that's a testament to how far forward playing Wales is, how much space they are taking away from the Northern Ireland side, whereas Wales, they're allowed to do whatever they want with the ball at times.
Yeah, like watch, there's another boost steal on the other side, and there's Breezy finding a double touch off it as well, as the Northern Ireland defense find themselves time and again stranded on their own goal line with 0 in the tank.
You know, after watching, the African region yesterday, and we got little tastes of what could be, but now to come out and see Wales, who, again, I pegged them as a favorite to be a potential gold medal contender when we sort of look at all these teams. Granted, we don't know what the English team looks like yet. Wales is going to be right on up there. I don't think we should be overlooking this team, and we are seeing how threatening they can be, as Breezy almost gets another.
Yeah, the mechanics are there. The team play is, I mean, we're seeing it almost grow in real time here, and it's only game 2 of this series, so that continues to be scary and has to be something you're aware of later in the tournament. How has that gone in, Formal?
Oh my, that is very unfortunate if you're a Northern Ireland fan right now. Breezy just has that red in the pinch from above. Not going the way that the Irish were hoping for. Wales makes it 4-0.
Oh, that's a wild goal to go in. But hey, at least it's 4-0. Honestly, at least that's not the first goal, right? Because that'd be incredibly disheartening, I think, if you were in a close game and that was kind of the deciding factor. But with that said, I mean, Northern Ireland probably still a little bit disheartened. There's still a lot to work out here heading towards game 3. If they've won game 1, maybe a different story. First goal, maybe for them, not quite. Northern Ireland, I mean, they were unlucky not to be up 1-0. They did take it to overtime in game 1. Game 2, a different beast, though, after that.
Breezy is going to go ahead and musty it across the middle of the field. No follow-up this side from the team, but absolutely, the way how this bracket is laid out, like Northern Ireland definitely were coming into this series as the underdog, all right, a little bit of an assist right there to Foxy to help get it through. I'm not going to call that one an own goal, but to quickly go back to the point I'm trying to make, Northern Ireland is coming into this series as a bit of the underdog. I kind of peg them as the number 3 team. They can beat Scotland. There's a world where I could see Scotland beating Wales. Like, even dropping this series, Northern Ireland is not out of it yet, but it's going to be very difficult for them. They are going to need some help. For Wales, though, they are just taking care of business.
True, in our Asian qualifier and our African qualifier, we watched both times the top team go undefeated on the day. I mean, that was when there was 4 teams. Now there's 5 teams, and we're really looking at it and saying, yeah, we do expect this top 3 to be much, much more competitive. It'll be a little bit harder for anyone to go undefeated. But right now, Wales are looking like the team that might be capable of doing it today. Still waiting to see how this Scottish team plays out, if they've been practicing a bit in their own time, if they've really put together some of the teamwork. But Wales, I mean, the fact that we're seeing this teamwork manifest as well, the fact that the mechanics are just there, they are turned on here in this first series of the day, it's going to be very scary for the rest of this day. They might even get a 6th. Not quite. The ball will drop. It's 2-0 so far in the series to Wales.
Yeah, but Wales is going to be very happy with their position. Up 2-0, match point going into it for Northern Ireland. That means a reverse sweep if they want to pull off this upset. And I'm very confident in saying it would be an upset with the way Wales have kind of showed what they're able to do. I think a big thing that I'm going to be looking at in Northern Ireland, find ways to create space for yourself. They had that one breakaway opportunity. They didn't capitalize on it, but that was also the only one. If they can find a couple more of those key moments, if they can find gaps in the rotation of Wales, there aren't many, I feel like they're going to have to if they're going to be able to bring this one back.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly tough for Northern Ireland. The reverse sweep is always hard, and starting it after a game where you went down 5-0 makes it feel that little bit more insurmountable, especially when you're missing nets that are essentially completely uncontested. Northern Ireland hoping to find another one of those uncontested goals here at the start of Game 3. And it'll be a tough Game 3 for them to fight their way back into this series on. Breezy's going to look for an early chance. The double touch is there. He doesn't quite have the angle, but that would have been a wild way to start off Game 3.
That would have been massive, and I think that could have been pivotal, especially for Northern Ireland. Instead, though, now they have to play that defense once again. Jaffa, though, straight down the middle, does get it behind Breezy. Follow up there. Centered in. Well, no one jumping up for it except for Tadpole, who will hop their way back up to the other side of the field. Northern Ireland, when they pull the trigger, they are willing to commit. They just haven't had many opportunities to pull that trigger and really go for those counterattacks.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'll say it again. I think it comes down to a lot how many times I've seen on my screen a blue player stealing away boost in this orange half. It's just not allowing the Northern Ireland team to get away when they try to pull the trigger. Good save there as Foxy tries to get underneath that ball. But we'll watch there. I bet Breezy, look, there he goes. He takes another boost away. And once again, there's nothing left in the tanks for this Northern Ireland squad to get out with.
Now instead, they're going to have to try to play a little bit of defense in front of the net. Tadpole almost finds it. There's the defensive bump that we were hoping to see. Jaffa, a straighter dunk could have been a goal. Still a chance. The net kind of open. Pengu slows it down, gets the flick. Foxy from behind makes the first save. And then somehow Tadpole was actually stopped as well, or made the stop, I should say. Foxy finds Tadpole, who crosses the goal line. Both teams missing opportunities to get that go-ahead lead.
It was such good breakaway pressure from Northern Ireland. They tried so hard to get that first goal, and then Tadpole misses another open net. It ended up not mattering in the last game. He's going to hope it doesn't matter again this game. Foxy with a great chance. The double touch would have been so sick off the musty flick, but it doesn't come through for the time being, as that was once again a great chance just based off pure mechanical prowess from this Wales squad.
Foxy looks for the reset, doesn't get it, and actually gets demoed. The physicality coming from Northern Ireland. I'm a little worried it could be too little too late, but as long as the score remains tied, hey, they're still in this, especially with Jaffa winning 50s against Foxy. Gilzo follows it through, yet possession's taken away, and look at that strike. Immediately, Northern Ireland, they're forced to keep two defenders off of that backboard once more.
Yeah, and here's an open chance as Breezy puts it to Tadpole, and Tadpole tries to find the angle, and Jaffa nearly own goals, and finally, Foxy will show up to make it a clean one inside the right post.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Tadpole's shot, I thought that was in right there. It hits two posts. However, Jaffa, too busy trying to defend that left side, wasn't able to press forward enough to stop the eventual shot from Foxy. That does go through. 1-0 lead for Wales. Halfway through this game, that's a good kickoff. Yet, Breezy's there to push it away.
Here's Gilzo with time in the air, but again, 0 in the tank. I mean, off the kickoff, it's a little bit more understandable. Pengu has a full tank, but he has to dodge demos from Foxy, and Tadpole is just styling in the air towards that net. Breezy coming with the follow of Pengu sitting on the back wall. Good pinch with Jaffa. He could have gone a little bit further if they'd gotten a little luckier. Tadpole, if he misses this, there'll be a chance. That's awkward. Foxy drops it. Pengu looking for a teammate. It's there for Jaffa, trying to get it back to Pengu, who had overrun the ball a little bit. Northern Ireland, they're trying to do something to break through this Wales defense. They're trying to find the passing plays. It's just not quite coming off.
They're getting a bit more sort of innovative, though, in the angles they're coming with. They might not have the mechanics of Wales, but they're definitely coming at some very bizarre offensive rotations. The few chances they do get to play on that blue side of the pitch. The problem has been sort of the defensive consistency. It really hasn't been there when we're looking for those big clearing touches. And I have to go back to Wales' ability to pressure the goal. They play so far forward, they don't allow any space, and eventually Breezy will be the one who bangs it through. That's a massive 2-0 lead.
And I mean, I hate to keep harping on the same point, but you could see it again. It's the goalkeeper there with 0 boost. Jaffa has contested his run out of boost and is approaching the halfway line, and Pengu is trying to rotate back in and gets his boost stolen on the way through. There is nobody there who can contest that as Breezy nearly bullies that one into the back of the net. Northern Ireland just being beaten in a macro sense on this pitch right now.
They're being beaten mechanically, they're being beaten macro. I think they're just being beaten, and that's not the start Northern Ireland was looking for, I'm sorry to say, but this Wales squad right now definitely living up to the hype of this roster. We're seeing the experience, we're seeing the mechanics, and we're starting to see, you know, what this team can truly be capable of. And the scary thing is, this is only game number 1. You have to believe this team is going to be getting stronger and stronger as today progresses, essentially. And if they do make it through, well, I'm excited to see what they can do at that world stage. We still yet to see what Scotland, as well as Jersey and Gibraltar, are going to be able to bring to the table. But for right now, Wales definitely confirming the belief that they should be the team to beat. Jaffa stops the eulogy with the goal right here.
I mean, it's a nice little ground finish to get one back. Only 1 goal the deficit, less than a minute remaining on the clock. We could go to an overtime in game 3 yet. And listen, I always do think that if you're going to start a reverse sweep, the only correct way to do it is off an overtime, because that's how you break the other team's mental. Tadpole, though, is going to put one off the crossbar. Pengu is watching, trying to get that one clear. Gilzo takes it on the nose of his car, and now Foxy with an infield pass to Breezy, who gets denied again. It's defense. It's good defense from Northern Ireland. Defense is not what they can afford to play right now, though. They need to get an offense going.
Absolutely, and let's see what happens. Challenge with Tadpole, immediately followed up by Foxy. Some more pressure being put on the Northern Ireland goal line, and unless we see that booming clear, unless we see that immediate follow-up, it's not going to happen. Not in this series, at least. Final 15 seconds, last chance for Northern Ireland, and it goes the other way. Foxy with the setup, no one to bang it through.
There is a full tank boost on Jaffin. That's who I'd want it to be on if it's on anyone on this Northern Ireland squad, but he's being forced to use it all to go backwards into his own corner right now. Everything is gone. The boost tanks lie empty, and that is going to be the game. As soon as this ball drops to the ground, Wales will beat Northern Ireland in a fairly straightforward 3-0 fashion.
It was an interesting series, though, and I do think games 1 and 3 were very telling in terms of how competitive this Northern Ireland team can be. However, game number 2, if you want sort of the highlight reel on why Wales is the favorite for today, I mean, that is the game to watch. And even go back to game number 1 just to see some of the mechanics that were on display as well. This Wales team is going to be scary for pretty much all the other teams. All 3 of those other teams that still have to play them, they should be nervous against this squad. However, I don't know. We still have to see what Scotland's able to bring. If any team can challenge them, I'm thinking it's going to be the Scots.
It is, and we're going to get to see exactly what the Scots are bringing to the table today. They will play against Jersey on our next match on stream. Meanwhile, Wales get a little bit of a break after that first match. Northern Ireland will move to take on Gibraltar. That's happening off stream. And we will be back here then to show you this match, to show you Scotland for the first time, to show you Jersey for the first time. After a quick break, we'll be here with that match.
Shadows fall over my heart. I black out the moon. I wait for you to come around. You got me dancing in the dark. I close my eyes, but I won't sleep tonight. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill the lights, hit the lights, let it black out, hit the lights, let it black out, oh. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, black out, black everything black, black everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything black. In a nocturnal state of mind, children of the night, but it's the only way of life. It's black holes pulling me inside of this black heart, the black soul underneath this black, black sky. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the hit the lights where they black out, black out, hit the lights where they black out, black out. Black bird, black hole, black sky, black light, black everything, black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything, black, black everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, black. Burning like a sun, loyal as a soldier, nailing at the stars, hoping that we'll be right. We'll be right, you'll be home. You gotta help me out, riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, swim in oceans to breathe your life. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Ticking like a bomb, falling in motion, center of the stage, hoping that we'll be right. Back again.
Welcome back to the European qualifier for the Commonwealth Esports Championship happening in August 2022. The first ever one, the inaugural one, and Wales have set themselves off on a great road to make sure that they are going to be attending. Up against them, Northern Ireland losing out early, but the other main competition I think we're expecting for them today, Scotland showing what they are worth here, taking on Jersey in both of these teams' first game on stream.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. Scotland is sort of to be that team that we're expecting to maybe make a bigger run and see how far they can go. They did play against Gibraltar off stream, went 3-0 against them in a pretty dominant fashion, 4-0, 5-1, 6-0. So they're coming with that similar momentum that they're looking to be taking into this matchup against Jersey. For Jersey, this is going to be their first game of the afternoon. So got to be very curious to see what type of form they're in. Again, this is sort of a smaller country, smaller territory. I'm not sure the quite correct term for it. A smaller team, a smaller player base. Let's go with player base.
Yeah.
Smaller player base for them to pick from. And we'll be curious to see how competitive they are.
Yeah, looking forward to hopefully a little bit competitive. You know, we had a good time watching that last series, despite Northern Ireland dropping, especially in Game 2, 5-0 fashion. It was a competitive series. They were close to it, and I think it goes to show this is a Welsh team that we did talk up coming into the day. You know, we said they're great, but they can bleed, definitely. You know, I mean, this is a Northern Ireland team that's slightly weaker than the team we were expecting. All credit to Gilzo, stepping up as a sub kind of last minute, still played very well, but not quite on the same caliber as Smokes, who was expected to be there for it. All I'm saying is Scotland will be looking at that, and this is a Scottish side that are at full strength for what they were meant to be today. They'll be coming in and hoping that they can really bring it to Wales. They'll have watched that game and said, yeah, we probably can beat that. Another strong performance here to keep the confidence high is going to be key for Scotland.
I mean, Scotland realistically has the best schedule for themselves to play spoiler. They're kind of running up the table, kind of on the perceived strengths coming into this one. Gibraltar, followed by Jersey. Then they'll have the Northern Ireland with the sub. Fine, I will concede that. And then they will be finishing off the day on stream with that matchup against Wales. And that very likely could be the deciding matchup to see who goes to the main event of the Commonwealth Games, assuming they can keep things together. Jersey, this is an unknown team. I mean, they didn't even play in the first round. Curious to see what their form is going to be like when we do get into this matchup. However, the expectation has to be that Scotland, more likely than not, is going to be taking this. I mean, they just are going to be a more experienced team at the competitive level overall.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty strong Scottish squad, consisting as it does, and let me pull it up here, Calzify, Pops, and Classy Vibing. These are some pretty strong players coming in up against the Jersey squad of Bomba Clud, Danon, and Jippy J.
Yeah, and I can't say I'm too familiar with the names on that Jersey side. I was able to look up a little bit on Calcify. Has been doing a lot of grinding in both 2v2s as well as your typical 3v3s. Kind of has had a nice little run, actually, of like the nice Cactus Cup over the years. Not as much recently per se, but they have been around. They probably were a little bit more competitive back in last year, was where they were getting a lot of their best results, but they've still been playing a part of rosters. So if we are looking for a player to step up for the Scotland side, based on experience, my eyes will be on Calcify. However, you never really know again. I mean, this is sort of that open environment where any individual player could step up and make themselves known.
Yeah, you know, we were seeing, obviously, Breezy being the player who did start to step up for the Wales team in that last match. You know, I mean, Breezy being Breezy was playing very, very well. But at the same time, you know, there were... He was getting good support from his teammates, you know. I mean, Tadpole had moments. Foxy had some moments as well. Some of them were good. Some of them were bad as well. But, you know, they were managing to support Breezy. They were getting up there as the team came on. And as you say, this is now the time. If you're going to pop off, now is the time to do it on an international stage in front of the audience and with a spot for the Commonwealth Games on the line. We're looking forward to seeing that. We are having some minor issues. The bugged lobby is being reset as we try to get these players all into a lobby that works for them. A little bit easier than yesterday, at least. You know, getting all the African teams into a functional lobby. I believe in one of the series that happened off stream, they were alternating between South African and European lobbies between every game, so that all the players were happy with it. That was the compromise they reached. None of that here today. All these players nice and close to the EU servers.
Yeah, so it shouldn't take too long to get ourselves into this next matchup again, because it's also Jersey's first game. Sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out which sort of region within EU, which type of server they're looking for is going to work best for them. Obviously, for the Scotland side, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be the favorites, whichever lobby we kind of put them in. We're still going to be expecting them to perform. It's realistically, though, Jersey, they would still like to have their best chance for that upset, so hopefully it won't take too long to get into this matchup and get into this next game. I'm still super curious as well, because like Jersey, it's kind of that unknown. I do want to talk about that other team, which I believe we are not sure if we're seeing next round or 2 rounds from now, but Gibraltar, definitely another unique team, another one with a lot of question marks about them. I'm pretty sure there's only like just over 30,000 people that live in that territory alone. Somehow they've put together a Rocket League team, and I'm pretty sure someone on the team, I think, is streaming their POV as well. So if you do want to kind of check that out, it's somewhere out there on Twitch. I can't give you the exact channel. That information wasn't passed on for me, but there is a POV of Gibraltar if you do want to watch them and sort of see how they're going. They're going to be playing up against Northern Ireland as this match will kick off.
Yeah, exactly, and they will be on this main stream in the next match, taking on Wales, which I think, unfortunately for them, may not be the best showcase of the talents that they are bringing to today, as Wales will be very much looking to stamp their authority on the day, looking to continue their strong run after their quick break that they're taking now. But yeah, that Gibraltar stream, it exists, it's out there somewhere. We do have all players in lobby, and we should be kicking things off sooner rather than later. Yeah, I mean, look, if we'd give you more guidance if we could, but, you know, we can't, and that's just the way of the world.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it if you look, dig, and look your way around. Again, it's a similar thing for a lot of the African countries that we saw as well, like Gibraltar, Jersey, even going back to Africa, we look at like Ghana. Let's go back to Asia and look at like Sri Lanka as well as like the Maldives. Like, there's so many opportunities for these countries to play on a stage like this through the Commonwealth Games. It really is special, especially for those who wouldn't get that chance to compete in, like, let's say the RLCS or in any sort of international land or competition. That's why this is such a big opportunity to not only, you know, find that experience for yourself, but to do so while representing your country. That's always been what the Commonwealth Games have kind of been about, and now we're going to see that chance as we are getting into this matchup. Scotland in blue, Jersey in orange. We're already on that pitch.
Yeah, we're going to see how this game does play out. Jiffy J, just before the game started, did ask that the Scotland team not try too hard. So we'll see how that works out. So far, not great, as Calcify will put one in after only 17 seconds.
There's hitting the sweet spot, and then there is hitting the sweet spot of the ball right there. Calcify gets every inch of power on that strike to get Scotland that opening goal, and a worrying start right now. I also like what Luxus has done. Can't really get the same sort of cross of the Jersey flag, so just go ahead and rip the English one.
Yeah, just steal a different flag altogether if you have to. I gotta tell you though, I am looking forward to seeing how this Jersey team does actually play up. I know Jippy J was asking for them to go easy on him, but listen, I was watching Jippy J during those warm-up lobbies as well. There were some mechanics on display. I don't think this is necessarily going to be all that one-sided. Calcify getting an early goal was very, very well placed, but other than that, Jersey do seem to be managing to get this defense a little bit lined up. A little bit unfortunate there. Oh, that'll rattle off the framework. Calcify trying to get that again. Dannon trying to set this up. Jippy J, though, I think is really what I'm saying is this is the player, even in the first minute of the gameplay, I'm seeing might be the shining light here for Jersey.
That said, Scotland's getting very, very close with these setups right now. A lot of near misses, a lot of balls dropping in front of that net. I'm curious if Scotland is kind of holding back for some of these just because they do have that 1-goal cushion. Sorry, make that a 2-goal cushion because Classy Vibing gets the angle and they're going to extend Scotland's lead.
They're not holding back all that much. That's a lovely little, you know, the turn upside down, going into your front flip from there. It's a classic way to get a lot of power on that ball, but it's deceptively hard to pull off, especially while you're turning laterally through the air as well. It's a nice touch. Classy Vibing showing that Calcify not the only player to look out for on this Scottish squad.
Yeah, I mean, the Scottish squad, there's a reason they should be feared. If you look at that last series, they only allowed 1 goal when playing against Gibraltar, and they've already found 2 here right now. They're continuing to show that, yes, offensively, they can find those powerful shots. Defensively, well, we're probably not going to see too much because their offense has been that dominant thus far as Calcify finds their second of the game.
It's such a great pass down, and it's just Calcify being so much quicker than anyone on the defense. He's coming in for that pass long before anyone even reads it as a threat. He arrives on the goal and he slams it home. 3-0, as you say, 2 of them for Calcify already. And this is looking like Scotland setting their mark for their first time on stream.
Yeah, and this is a promising sign to see. Again, if you're kind of hoping to see a little bit of competition against the Wales lineup, Scotland could be that shining beacon of hope as perhaps the squad that could give them the most trouble, especially considering Northern Ireland has already fallen to the Wales side. Scotland showing off some passing plays this time. The final shot was the one that goes in. The second shot was a little bit high, not perfect, it doesn't matter. 4-0 lead.
I want to see a world where the final shot is the one that doesn't go in and the goal is still scored. I'm not sure exactly how that'd end up working.
Own goal.
Well, yeah, but like that's not really. I guess there's still a final shot there that goes in, right? Like,
no,
yeah,
because it
well,
goes on. The defender's the one who hits it in. The final shot
Okay,
misses,
yeah.
and then the defender scores the goal. That's how a final shot misses.
All right, yeah, okay. Listen, fair enough. Find me some examples. I'll be willing to talk at that point. You know, right now it's a little bit rough. I'm glad you
know what
mentioned the Wales
region I'm
game
from.
again. Yeah,
You know. I have a bookmarked tab called Own Goals, all right? We'll open that one up later. A shot coming from the middle of the field, though. Jersey nearly puts their first one in.
That would have been nice. We're looking for Jersey to get one here. I mean, these kind of games where it is 4-0, where Scotland have this much control, make that 5-0. I mean, look, we're just rooting for the underdogs to get a goal then, right? We want everyone to go home with something.
Absolutely. As we watch this one again, and this is the 3rd time we've seen a goal coming from Scotland with a pretty ridiculous angle out of the corner.
Yep.
Accuracy and shot power, 2 things that the Scottish side definitely are not lacking at all right now. That's what's been on showcase so far in this series, and while that's all well and good, I'm still going to be curious what happens when we see Scotland play against some of the other favorites in this region and what they look like when challenged, because right now it's just a smorgasbord of points.
It is indeed a smorgasbord of points. It's going to be a little while before we get to see Scotland on stream again, but they will be playing in both our 4th and 5th matches of the day. That'll be Scotland taking on Northern Ireland and Scotland taking on Wales, back to back to decide their fate. That's going to be a very exciting series of matches. Before then, we do have Gibraltar versus Wales, as Wales will look to continue on their strong run. I think I'm glad you brought it up as well earlier. There's kind of that last match of the day, the Scotland-Wales match. I think we're kind of building all day long towards the climax. That should be a very, very important one. That should really end up being the match that ends up deciding who we send to the Commonwealth Esports.
Yeah, that is what we're looking to see with the off chance. Hey, you know, your squad, that Northern Ireland side, they could play spoiler. We will be seeing Northern Ireland play Scotland as well in round 4. So, yeah, we're bringing you a lot of good matches out here today. Unfortunately for Jersey, this match not really one of the ones that they would like to consider good. Or at least game 1 not going in their way, as Scotland has already scored more goals in this game than they did in any of the 3 games against Gibraltar. We're not even in our final minute yet. A 7-0 lead. Scotland showing no signs of slowing down as they continue their attack.
Well, they might slow down now. I mean, the Brazil's on the line, and it's always aesthetically pleasing for the players when we end up at that 7-1 scoreline. So I guess we'll wait and see if Scotland allow that to happen.
Well, we will see. I mean, yeah, a lot of their touches no longer necessarily on point, as they are playing some defense right now. Pops, no. Well, unfortunately, when the net is open, you have to let it go through, right? Like, yeah, you can't leave points on the table. 8-0, well, no funny scoreline today.
Well, I mean, 8-2. Well, I mean, it still exists, but Barcelona is there. I'm just disappointed we've missed our opportunity to rope back in the one continent not getting represented at these Commonwealth Esports Championships. Like, you know, going back down to Brazil for South America, we get the rest of them. Let's get 7 out of 7 and get a few more Brazils.
Oh, good old South America, the SAM region. Look, I don't really want to talk about that region right now because Renegades aren't going to London. That means that Furia is probably going to run away with it. Either way, 1 minute left. Luxus looking for that first goal out of Jersey. Will play the corner, had a teammate there, but they're unable to connect, and that means no goal yet. In fact, we go the other way. 9-0 lead for Scotland.
Will we hit the double digits? It's feeling likely. It's feeling almost inevitable, I would say, with 50 seconds left on the clock and 9 goals already scored for Scotland. What was our record yesterday? Team World Connected managing to win a series with 35 goals to 0 scores?
Yes.
I don't know. Do you think we see Scotland actually try and push that record?
We'll see. I mean, for the individual game number 1, it was 15-0.
It was 10-0 game 1, 15-0 game 2.
Yeah, and then another 10-0 to wrap it up. We're at 10-0 right now. I don't know. Perhaps we could see something along those lines.
We're on track, baby. Calcify with another one under the crossbar. And yeah, we're at the 10-0. Will they go for an 11th, maybe even, dare I say it, a 12th in game 1?
Oh, we could see it. It was World Connected versus Malawi, if I'm correct, right? Where we saw that massive scoreline?
Think so. It was a lot of the.
It was not Ghana, and series. Kenya was a little bit more competitive. So I'm pretty sure it was Malawi who we saw that scoreline.
Yes,
it was a brutal one. It was a brutal one, as we do see Classy vibing, looking for goal number 11. This time the save is made on the line. Follow-up will come from Calcify, however. And we're at that 11-0 mark. I think Scotland's going to make a run for it.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. I mean, look, they've made it a little bit easier. They won't need 15 goals in game 2. Maybe spread them out a little bit more. Still 14 seconds left on the clock. They could go all the way up to 12 for this one. I don't know, maybe the Scottish team will show a little bit of mercy, you know, take the foot off the gas in games 2 or 3. Because that absolutely was not what World Connected did.
Yeah, World Connected, they did stay on that gas. And, I mean, Jersey did ask Scotland to maybe ease up on the gas a little bit before the game even started.
They're enraged by that. How dare you ask us to take it easy?
No, but what if this is? What if this is Scotland taking it easy? We have to think about that possibility at this stage as well.
It could have been 35-0 in one game otherwise.
Ooh. No, I feel like that was Scotland absolutely taking advantage of every opportunity that they could find to score as many goals as possible, because it's the Commonwealth Games, and you do sort of have to expect that from the teams, even if they are favorites. They're playing to win today. They understand, hey, a trip to the main event, a trip to the games themselves, might not be as, fantastical as, you know, some of the other teams, like, you know, Kenya, their opportunity to go to London, or the Caribbean, their opportunity to go. For Scotland, it's just kind of heading down the coast a bit. But, hey, that land experience is still there for them, and they want to fight for it.
Yeah, and they're going to do it. Of course, goal difference literally does not matter if we do end up in a tie-break situation. It will come down to game difference and head-to-heads. But with that said, I mean, you still want to make sure you're closing out 3-0 and an 11-0 scoreline. I guess that's one way to make sure that you are winning game 1. We're onto the pitch for game 2. Let's see how it goes. We're expecting, I think, a little bit more of the same here. But, I don't know, maybe Gibraltar, maybe Jersey sandbagging game 1.
Ooh, that's a risky strategy. I don't think that's going to be the case. However, off that kickoff, it could have looked good, but then we also see 2 Jersey members rotating back to their same back corner boost, and those are the kind of mistakes that leads to open nets like this. 1-0 lead for Scotland, 24 seconds in game 2.
Yeah, and it's a pretty clean redirect from Calcify, honestly. Like, I mean, that's just nice soft wheels, things you love to see. They're making it look good at least a little bit, and I'll be honest, if we're going to have to watch a game that is relatively one-sided, I'm at least always going to hope that the team that's winning manages to score some pretty goals.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of going to be hoping for that. I believe as that ball will roll from the net. Pops now trying to play from the corner. Was bumped from behind. Is going to try to recover. Uses all their boosts in the process. And now all of a sudden, Jersey has a chance on the attack. The fake works. It was all a ruse. And Jippy J gets the goal.
Well, it won't be a shutout. Jippy J has one. We're at 1-1 here in game 2 as Classy Vibing just gets baited a little bit. Jippy J delays the touch and hits it back behind the player. 1-1, 40 seconds on the clock. I mean, hey, one more kickoff goal. Let's see how this goes. Not quite Pops is there quickly enough, but there's a chance still for Jersey here.
That is the classic example. Again, I like to call it getting a case of the whipples. One player has it, and it becomes contagious incredibly quickly. Next thing you know, everyone around them whiffing as well because they expect that first touch, and it was Jersey who took advantage of the chaos there. Tie ball game, Scotland. Maybe he might be getting a little bit nervous right now. They're on that defensive side. The ball will make its way through the corner. A lot of space, though, given to Calcify as they make defenders miss. One more touch towards the net. Turns into a pass. Pops a shot. Is stopped on the line.
Yeah, and Jippy J has enough power to go through that 50-50. Can he beat another player? Not quite. This is an awkward touch for Lux. Will manage to get it away, and Dannon taking it back into this corner now. Calcify waiting, watching, happy to take that one on a good 50. It's a 1v1 with Lux. I tell a lie. It's a 2v1. Pops nearly committed to the fake. That's one of those, you know, didn't really want to try for the fake. Was like, is this a good idea? You gotta either commit to the fake or go early there.
Yeah, and that is, well, gonna cost a bit more time. And now Dannon just missing the ball. That's gonna be up the other way. Beautiful pass and shot. Scotland now takes the 2-1 lead.
That's exactly it. Went early, did Pops, went early a second time, finding Classy Vibing, and that is a beautiful bit of team play. Hard one to save there anytime, no matter who's on your goal line. And that will be 2-1, as you say. Scotland looking to open up a lead again here in game 2. Here's Pops looking to contest it. It'll just go in off the kickoff.
Yep, that's a good kickoff for Scotland. Not much more can really be broken down right here. Ball just pops right over the top of a cheating defender. Out of the corner, a little bit overshooting it from Dannon, who's been struggling, I feel. Actually, yeah, it was Dannon, who has been struggling a little bit, I feel, to just have that impact on the pitch that we've been seeing, you know, from some of the other Jersey members. And unfortunately, it could be costing them another goal here as well. Another pass out, and Calcify makes it 4-1.
Business as normal has resumed. His 3-goal lead appears out of thin air. Scotland have managed to pull the genie out of the bag on this one. Genie out of a lamp, cat out of a hat, something cat out of bag, rabbit hat.
No more cat out of the hat. I tried to watch that movie again recently. It is not okay.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad. Classy Vibing though will be able to get a goal, and look. That is one thing that this Jersey defense has in common with Cat in the Hat. Both are incredibly ugly at the moment.
I mean, it's harsh. It may not be untrue, though, as I think it's just a case of pure speed. There's a pace of game being brought by the Scottish team that it's hard to match unless that is what you play normally. And I mean, even then, even if Jersey do manage to start driving faster, you're just holding down your boost button permanently and not slowing down. It's still hard then to get the mechanics right at that speed, even if you do start to match your opponents on that one. And that is the issue for some of these smaller nations coming up against the larger teams, the bigger player bases, as you said as well. There are just some slightly better players coming up here. Pops gets a double touch off that corner. Call it luck, call it skill. Either way, the ball's in the back of the net.
I mean, you don't keep pressing forward if you think that touch is initially going to go in, so Pops, very good read on the line. So fast, so decisive. 6-1 lead for Scotland, and this game we could be making references to South America, Alex. We're one goal away.
Yeah. All right, do we trust the Scottish to score a single goal in the next 120 seconds?
I mean, you would have to think so, right? But the question is, can the defense hold on?
Yeah, no, I trust them. Yeah, exactly. I trust them to score one. I'm saying, do I trust them not to score like 4 more after that?
That's where the chest. See, I also am not sure I completely am running Jersey off, actually, from getting another goal in this one. They have been getting closer and closer. Double commit kind of disguises how strong that shot was. A little bit lower. That was in the net. My goodness. Instead, we go the other way. Pops late reset off the post. Doesn't go in. Calcify, though, will tap it through. Sorry, Classy Vibing will tap it through. And now we have the scoreline.
And now we're at 7-1. It took them about 15 or 20 seconds after we kind of started talking about it to get that goal in. And since then that's a goal every kind of 15-20 seconds. Even if it takes them 30 seconds, and we're probably looking at least a couple more for this Scottish squad right now. So, I mean, I think we're going to lose our beautiful Brazil sooner rather than later as Pops tries to get this ball into the middle. Calcifies there, won't get it. I mean, I'd be happy to see it for a little while longer.
Yeah, I would be happy to see how long this lasts. I mean, you never know. Scotland could try to park the bus right now, confident in their 6-goal lead, and think, yeah, we can hold this one down. And I wouldn't be too surprised if that's the case. I mean, I definitely is going to be a Scotland victory in this one, as Classy Vibing doesn't quite get that reset, and both Pops and Calcify are playing a bit further back. They're giving a lot of space back to Jersey. Demo play actually goes the opposite direction. Calcify now a chance to get that goal. Ball will pop up. Ball does fall in front of the net. Classy Vibing centers it, but couldn't find an accurate shot.
Couldn't quite find an accurate shot. It is now 45 seconds gone without a single goal for the Scottish. Will they look to remedy that right here? Pops is rotating in as Classy Vibing tries to find that towards the middle of the pitch. Tried to pick out his teammate with a pass. Didn't quite work out. Calcify launches a long ball. Jippy J won't manage to find a touch on that back wall, and that leaves the way open for Calcify to try and find a wild redirect, and Pops demoed in the background. Means a little bit of space for Jersey to try and do something themselves.
Now let's see if they're going to be able to find it. It's going to be a shot from that corridor, nearly in the net. That second shot goes high as well. It was a double commit, but the third attacker gets stopped on the line by Pops. Dannon could have just put it a desperation touch. It's not going to go through. Jersey so close to breaking the 7-1 scoreline, yet it is not meant to be. Instead, we go the other way. Pops with a chance to put one more in for Scotland. Wounds up backboarding it. Follow-up shot, though, is saved on the line by Jippy J. And you know what, Alex? I think we got the score line. Scotland a chance to play spoiler. It's still up. It's still up. And eventually it gets pushed to the safety of the corner where, well, it's actually still up and down it goes. Scotland wins it 7-1.
Jippy J is the hero of the South Americans there. Keeps the Brazil alive multiple times. Some good saves coming through. I think, yeah, I'm happy for Jippy J. He's been honestly playing very, very well in this series. Not quite keeping up, I think, with some of the more hype plays coming out of Scotland, but has been doing quite well and keeping some good saves in the back pocket. Has had some good chances as well. Has really been the catalyst for any of the action coming out of the Jersey half.
Yeah, that has been the case right now, and I do want to see if Jippy J is able to continue to make those types of waves and maybe get another couple of goals in right now. But for the Scotland side, again, what we're looking at is more of that control, more of the consistent level play that is going to be required if they are going to contest against Northern Ireland, if they are going to have that chance to beat Wales. So far, things looking so good for the Scotland side. I think if there are any Scotland fans watching along, they should be quite happy with the performance they're seeing, but with that caveat, knowing that it does get only tougher from here.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb for the Scotland squad, but they will get a bit of a break to prep themselves mentally. They can maybe even watch the Northern Ireland squad on stream if that's what they want to do, or the Welsh squad on stream, depending, given that it is the Welsh squad on the stream. And prep a little bit. I think, you know, that makes sense to do. I'd imagine right now the Welsh squad are probably watching us here, probably seeing how this Scottish team are playing, or they're just keeping their hands warm themselves and leaving someone to watch. But, you know, maybe keeping an eye on exactly what they can do. And it is hard to really take much away from this series, unfortunately, in terms of what are the Scots doing, what could you do to take advantage of, and this could be a first goal. Calcify, that's going to be a first goal. It's Jersey who have an early lead.
Well, maybe this is what you do. You just send all three members. You just everyone go for it. That seems to be where Jersey has actually been finding most of their successes. Jippy J, the one who does get that final touch, but that does not take away from the fact that that was a triple commit on the offensive play as a whole. It was a double commit followed by Jippy J, still pressing out of the corner as a third man, which is probably the most forward third man I've seen in a good long while.
Yep, absolutely. Pops off the crossbar, tried to get that one in, and there was credit to Dannon for the assist on that last play as well. It was a really good read in front of net, and Dannon has been trying to play a little bit faster. You can see there again, committing in the middle of the pitch. He's bumping away, Classy Vibing as well, creating a little bit of space. This is a very different Dannon than we saw in the first couple of games. Let's see if it continues to work out. Looking for a save there. It comes off the crossbar anyway. Jippy J has full boost. A miss from Luxes will leave an open net, and that means Classy Vibing will tie the score up for Scotland.
Yeah, as you see that, Dannon again just couldn't quite find that read, and Classy Vibing was just sitting on the goal line waiting for a chance to redirect it away from the defender. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now. However, Scotland, yeah, tie ball game. Didn't take long for them to find the equalizer as, well, I don't think it'll take them that long either to find the go-ahead goal. In fact, I expect it off this play right here. Pops looking to escort it down themselves, sets up Calzify, and there is the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, you could see it coming, right? As soon as Pops gets that much space in the corner and he has teammates in the middle, you do just kind of feel that Scotland are going to make the passing play happen. And it comes true. The prophecy, as you called it, Max, there is a go-ahead goal. Didn't take very long for Scotland to reassert dominance in Game 3.
Yeah, and I think even if Scotland is starting to kind of ease up on the gas a little bit in terms of, you know, how far forward and how aggressive they're attacking the net, it doesn't mean that they're easing up enough to realistically let Jersey back into it. This is still a very controlled game from the Scotland side. They're doing just enough to make sure that they can maintain this lead, still putting on dangerous touches and shots. Calcify gets their second, and we're not even a minute and a half in.
It's just they're doing maybe even slightly more than they need to do to maintain their lead as they extend it up to 2 goals. 3-3-3 left on the clock. 3 goals for the Scottish team already. 2 of them for Calcify, 1 for Classy Viking. Pop's yet to get on the scoreboard, but you do kind of feel it's only a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, well, actually, you can kind of track how much time it is. About just under 3.5 minutes until we're expecting Scotland to get the win in this one, unless Jersey can bring it back. Lux has almost found something. Here comes the follow-up through. Jersey with a chance. Dannon has to go up for it, but was rotating back. It's an awkward challenge against Pops. And the opportunity for Jersey may have slipped through their fingers once more. Ball through the corner, set up for a strike. Scotland taking their time playing the patient game, wanting the defense to press too far forward aggressively. And now here comes the opening. Perhaps not quite. Jersey patient defense does pay off.
Now that I know that Dr. Nasri exists down in the African region, I'm not sure I can ever again say that anyone else is playing the patient game.
That hurt. I'm in pain. Why do you do that to me? Pops through the corner, misses the ball. Oh, that was worse than my Cat in the Hat metaphor. That was terrible.
I regret nothing.
As you shouldn't. You're an angry man right now. Northern Ireland lost. Here comes Calcify. Shot coming through. It's going to be saved on the line.
Yep. Look, it's we find our kicks where we can in this match, as Scotland are heading rapidly towards this second series win on the day, looking to set up those clashes with Northern Ireland and Wales later on. Here's maybe another goal. The post denies it, and Dannon flicks it on out. Pop's looking to set up Classy Vibing, and here comes Calcify well over Dannon's head. Misses off the post though, and a chance goes a waste.
Dannon, though, still unable to get any boost as it was stolen away by the Scottish attack. Classy Vibing. Actually, he's going for the back pass right now. 2 defenders chase. That just leaves poor Jippy J alone in the net. And again, Jippy J is who we want to see playing a bit further forward. Just been unable to, as Classy Vibing almost got that ground pinch right in front of the goal. Going back up the other way. It's a little bit awkward from Jersey. Still in control. Pass across. Nearly connects. Luxus has a chance, but instead puts it right into Calcify, who will dribble it down the middle. Into the corner we go. Dannon with a nice defensive read.
Oh, Pops is so fast on that one, and it is top right corner to put in a 4th goal of this game. A little bit of a lower scoring affair for Scotland, but I think after game 1 and 2, they were probably starting to feel like, yeah, we've done enough. This series well in hand.
I think they're shooting for another 7-1. I think that's where we're going to finish this game on right now. They're only 3 goals away. We know they can get 3 goals in just over a minute. In fact, we saw them do it at the start of this game, so we'll see what they're going to be able to bring right now. It is Jersey on the attack, however, playing through that corner. Ball's down in a good position for Luxing, who will take the shot. Calcify, save on the line.
Big save on the line there. Calcify to go for this one. A nice double touch. It's in the back of the net. Is it? Not quite. It stays out. Luxes with the backflip. Calcify denied the highlight, as that was genuinely one of the cleaner goals we would have seen all day. But hey, inches matter here in Rocket League, and it will not be the 5th goal of this game. In fact, it might be one back the other way. Pop's forced to make a save as Jippy J launches that one. It's a pass attempt back down into the middle, but Jippy J not rotating in quickly enough to get on the end of that.
Always like to compare the double dutch to a slam dunk, and that was a dunk that just rolled on the rim somehow for way too long and wound up bouncing out. Super unfortunate as Classy Vibing doesn't quite win that 50. A chance for Jersey. Here we go. No, Dannon winds up underneath the ball. That's okay. Jippy J didn't like the looks of that challenge. Final 10 seconds. Scotland will be able to complete the sweep. Each game, though, closer than the last. Scotland did ease up on the gas a little bit. That's okay. They're going to have a break to sort of recollect themselves, maybe put more fuel in the tank. But for now, Scotland, they're sitting pretty 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, honestly, that break might be not necessary for Scotland, but with two relatively straightforward series, two relatively easy opponents in the form of Gibraltar and Jersey here in their first two matches, it's nice for them. They can go away, they can keep the hands warm, they can maybe play some fast Rocket League, you know, maybe go play a little bit of ranked here in this next series and really readjust to the pace of game that they're going to need to bring, because they will be back on stream after our next series up against Northern Ireland.
Yeah, but on stream, we're going the other direction. We're going to get our first look at this Gibraltar team as they take on the favorites in Wales. It's going to be a tough match for them. Expectation should be for Wales, but you got to play the game. You never know what could realistically happen when we do get onto the pitch.
Yeah, we will head to a quick break. We will be back with that match. Don't go anywhere.
Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way. Can't do what you do. Only you. Give me that deja vu. Only you.
I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the nirvana. But if I'm
Welcome back to the European qualifier for the Commonwealth Esports Championships, a world-connected initiative brought to you by the Global Esports Federation and the Commonwealth Games Federation. You can, of course, use that hashtag WorldConnected to get involved on Twitter as well. We are heading towards our next match where we will have, of course, Gibraltar taking on Wales formal. We're kind of expecting Wales to continue their run here today.
Yeah, Wales looking like probably the strongest team that we've seen so far. Granted, we haven't seen Gibraltar play yet. They could surprise us, but looking at their past results, day hasn't really started off in a way that Gibraltar would have been looking for. They did fall 3-0 to Scotland, only scoring 1 goal against them over the course of the 3 games that they did fall, although after a break, we'll see where they sort of stand. I think the bigger news right now, though, Gibraltar, they did get a win against Northern Ireland. Did they win the series? No, but they were able to take a game from them, and all the games that they played were actually quite close. So my initial prediction of Gibraltar perhaps being the bottom team, I'm not so sure anymore. I think they stand a chance to possibly finish 4th, maybe even 3rd, depending how things kind of go out. But right now, coming into this matchup, they still are the heavy underdogs.
Yeah, they'll be heavy underdogs against a Welsh team that come into the day as our heavy favourites. I say heavy favourites. I think after watching that Scotland game, I have to say, maybe not the heaviest favourites. That match at the end of the day, the stakes just keep rising on that one, and I'm still looking forward to it. I do think that is going to be an absolute banger of a series when those two teams clash.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a fun one, unless someone can play spoiler. So I'm going to be excited to see how this will bring out the squad of Impulse, Perplex, and Selly 911. That's going to be that Gibraltar side. They're the last squad that we are able to see here on the mainstream. I'm excited what they're going to be able to bring. I know this team in particular, so excited for the opportunity to be playing in an event like this, you know, being part of the Commonwealth Esports Championships, that opportunity to go to Birmingham. They're going to need to pull off that upset. And if they do make that upset happen, I mean, it realistically opens the door for all the teams still here competing.
Yeah, I mean, the upset on Wales, if they take a series loss at this point of the day, would be massive implications for how the rest of it is going to play out. We'll wait and see if it actually ends up happening first. Wales, they're looking to set the tone for this series. They will get an early goal. It took a little bit of work. It took the third man rotating in, but Tadpole will put it near post.
Even then, though, the third defender was able to stay on it. Selly 911 patient defense almost came through with a massive save, and that could have been the counterattack back up the other way. However, as Gibraltar is learning firsthand, this Wales team is fast, they are accurate, and they will show you no mercy if they smell that blood in the water. Tadpole, nice little musty, going for a musty reset, couldn't quite get it.
I think there must be an ongoing bet in this Welsh team about who can score the most musties today. Because that seems to be 90% of the mechanics that they're going for here. They get the ball in the middle of the pitch and they go for a musty flick. We've seen it from Breezy, we've seen it from Tadpole. I think we've even seen a couple from Foxy as well. Let's see if we get any more of those here in game one.
I'm still waiting for Breezy to nail the Breezy. That's what we want to see. Like that's what the people bought their tickets to watch this online. The totally real tickets that do not actually exist at this stage. Either way,
a reminder: if you have bought a ticket, then you're getting scammed.
Meanwhile, 1-0 lead for Wales as we play this one through the corner. Perplex does get demoed. Tadpole has the opening off the post and not in. Gibraltar lucky to still only have a 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, maybe lucky. Good defense as well, though, coming through from the Gibraltar side. They have been contesting. They've not been playing scared, which is a problem we see sometimes with smaller teams, and that's a great ball forward. But Sele will get demoed on the way through, trying to chase that one with very low boost. I'm liking it. Gibraltar are just throwing themselves at the ball. They're not playing scared. They're not giving Wales too much space, which does tend to be a problem. It's when you give players like Breezy a little bit of space in front of net, they're going to punish you. Here might be that punish top left corner. Gets tested, but it will not be found.
Yeah, Wales struggling to put some of these goals through right now, and this is keeping Gibraltar very much in this opening game. In fact, a chance for Perplexed right here. The window is there. Foxy just underneath does enough for the save, and now we go back the other way. Tadpole through the corner, slows it down. I think wanted Foxy to be a little bit closer. A chance for Gibraltar to play defense. We'll take it back up the field.
Gibraltar are making this very close so far. Breezy now has space to work with, has teammates in support as well, is just trying to cut the defense to shreds, but ultimately does get caught out. Foxy's sitting underneath this ball, has the chance to move it forward again. Breezy's looking to cause problems. Perplex has managed to bump someone in front of it, though. That was a good clear. This is now good clear as well. You need to watch that. That's Gibraltar, they weren't expecting it to be that close. That's a great shot. That's a good attempt from Breezy. In a follow-up from Tadpole was good as well. It's still kept out of the goal, though. The blue team clinging onto this with their fingernails. That's
almost got the own goal, and finally the defense will break. You saw it set up. Too many players cheated into the corner, and as soon as the ball got behind them on the pass, the shot was coming in. Breezy just beats out Selly 911, and we have ourselves a 2-0 lead. However, credit to the Gibraltar defense. They survived a solid minute of non-stop pressure from this Wales team. Gibraltar definitely making this series interesting.
Yeah, so far they have had a couple of chances of their own, not converted, but definitely creating the chances, and that's exciting to see here for this Gibraltar squad. Perplex will put that ball high onto the roof. Tadpole has teammates in the middle. Breezy takes it away from Foxy, and Breezy is looking for a double toe. Will find it. It'll end up rolling in. Goal credit to Breezy.
Wait, which means that bounced off a defender. We're going to have to watch this one again. The initial angle was a bit far back. Breezy's spike down was good. We've seen more accurate. Yeah, it was off Selly 911. And that one I'm going to put in the own goal category. Look, we have to have one every broadcast, and unfortunately it's going to happen to Gibraltar right here.
I think you're reaching like a little bit. I do think the shot was still on target. If there'd been no defenders there, it would have gone in. We'll have to check the tapes. That's a shot going the length of the pitch. Look, we'll get a better own goal for you before we finish, Max. I promise.
I don't want a better own goal. I actually kind of like where this series is going right now, as we do see Foxy play it up that corridor. Now looking for a pass back. Another opportunity for Wales. Ball falls in front of the net. Tadpole keeping it up high. Selly 911. Ooh, that's an awkward defensive read. Impulse going to go ahead and put that into corner. Defenders bumping into each other, and that confidence that we saw from Gibraltar, I think they're cracking a bit. The defense looking sloppier and sloppier as this game continues.
Yeah, it was. That lack of fear was really helping them out early in the game. That's Selly chasing this ball. Hang on. Might have a chance. Will put that one straight in. Great finish by Selly.
I want to watch this again, Selly. I mean, yeah, it was an open-ish net, still with some pressure from Foxy. Had to be good on that tight angle, but put it through nonetheless. Gibraltar back only at a 2-goal deficit. It is considered the most dangerous lead in football, that 2-point lead.
It's true, and dangerous in Rocket League as well will be Foxy trying to open it back up, but denied by Impulse on that line. And Perplex has a little bit of space in the middle of the pitch. Is not really going to use it to full effect there, and in fact will just be trying to get the boost. Tadpole steals it away, and this could mean disaster for Gibraltar in this final minute. As stuck with low boost, trying to get a 2-goal deficit down. That's a tough place to be. Impulse, if this goes well, if the 50 had been better, maybe that goal was getting threatened.
Yeah, I mean, Wales, it was a very risky defensive touch, but they knew the pressure was coming. They had to go for that backboard play, and very fortunate for the Wales defense. It did pay off for them. Now, though, Gibraltar are going to set themselves up for another chance. Impulse tries to fake out Tadpole, gets bullied for it as a result, bumped away. Selly does make one attacker miss. Tadpole, though, able to cut underneath it, plays the patient game. That sets up Breezy, who only put it up and back. Foxy now on defense. A chance here for Gibraltar. Shot should come through. First save is on the line, and Impulse not quite there to follow it up.
Not quite, but still a decent attempt by the Gibraltar side. 7 seconds left on the clock. This game one is going to be going in favor of Wales. They continue their undefeated run here today in the European Championship. Undefeated game streak, as I say, but there's still 2 more games in this series. Look, Gibraltar have shown signs of life. They may even get it back within one. Not quite. Foxy will try and keep that alive, but it'll drop to the ground. Gibraltar were alive in that game up until the very end. They were trying to push for those goals. And if they continue to play without fear, we could see a different story in game 2.
Yeah, I'm very curious right now. Again, Game 2 is where the Gibraltar team did beat Northern Ireland. And to be quite honest, if I'm a Northern Ireland fan, I think a little bit of justification right here and how come this Gibraltar team was able to take a game off them. I was expecting if we were going to see this upsetting side, it might have come from Jersey. Pleasantly surprised to see how competitive Gibraltar are. And I'll be excited to see if this defense can continue to hold, because we did see after enough pressure, the cracks did form, and that's when Wales was able to strike. Can that continue is my question.
It's going to be hard, because I'll be totally honest with you as well, Max. I think there's at least another gear or 2 here for the Welsh squad that they didn't have to show in game 1. I think they can probably play a little bit faster if they need to. I think they can probably just keep it a little bit tighter on the offense. What you need for Gibraltar to win this series, if you are a fan right now, is they start winning. They, let the crack show. Wales are a little bit complacent in game 2, and the loss rattles them. All of a sudden, it turns out that this team isn't as well put together as they look, that maybe they start to get a little bit over ball chasing. Maybe they start some of the double commits. It's a big ask, but I think it starts here with a first goal for Gibraltar and then just pouring the pressure on, not letting off if you have that advantage.
Can I say something crazy here?
Yes.
I think Gibraltar has a better chance to win this series if they lose this game and if they get the reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you. It's all about that mental game. And the mental warfare of a reverse sweep is much stronger than taking game 2 away. Now, I'm not saying Gibraltar should lose this one intentionally. Quite the opposite. Continue to put that pressure onto Wales. But I think, we're not counting this one out until it's all said and done. Gibraltar putting up so much more fight than expected. This defense has been so impressive thus far in terms of keeping that ball out of the net. It's all about whether or not they can find those counterattacking opportunities moving forwards as well.
It's true. I think there are 2 ways an underdog can really win a series, and that is, 1, you start off strong, you win game 1, 2, 3 back-to-back. That's a first goal for Tadpole, as that is a clean angle to find it at.
Oh, man. Wales so good at finding these angles. Similar to Scotland as well, though, and you'll find that with a lot of sort of the favorites in this competition as a whole, the ability to find those tight angles and to score from anywhere on the pitch. It takes less than a minute, and Wales is already out in front.
Yeah, and do love Tadpole having swapped up that preset as well for game 2 here. Foxy trying to go fast along that wall, ends up, I think, slowing himself down a little bit instead. But yeah, just to re-highlight that point quickly, I think you're absolutely right. The reverse sweep is definitely one good way for an underdog to try and come back into a series. The other way is you do just need to win game 1, win game 2, not give the kind of favourites a chance to breathe to get back into the series. That's obviously already a ship that has sailed. But hey, there's a chance. Gibraltar giving them a series here against the Welsh squad. And if they can keep the pressure up in game 2 and then make their move in game 3, 4, and 5, we could have a very exciting series on our hand.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to it right now. Only a 1 goal scored in the first minute and a half. Here comes Wales, though. That ball's going to fall in front of the net. Tadpole, perfect position to bang it through. And You talked a bit about that next gear that Wales can shift to. We're getting hints of it every now and then. When they see that opening, they are so decisive at putting that point through.
Yeah, that's a pretty clean goal. It didn't quite come off the redirect pass mid-air, but it did come from the follow-up, and that's exactly what you want, is team play, players following up, able to capitalize when the first play causes the defense to panic a little bit, causes the defense to use all of their boost, even if it's not panic, even if you are just forced to make the correct decision. Having someone follow through is a way to take advantage of that. Bump good in the net as well, leaves a little bit of space.
As we see the ball fall in the middle of the pitch, and it will be Breezy trapping to kind of race back on defense. Foxy, though, the young gun on the Wales team, showing, hey, I can score too, is able to put another one in. 3-0 lead for Wales, as this is starting to look more like what we potentially expected between these two teams.
Yeah, starting to look a little bit like the Northern Ireland series did for the Welsh squad as well, where they won game one. It was a relatively close affair where, you know, they were kind of within striking distance at all times, and then game two was a bit of a blowout. Hoping for a game three then for the Gibraltar squad that does start to look a little bit closer, or, you know, maybe a goal now, get back within two, maybe start a clawback right here.
I mean, I would love to see it, yet it's Breezy taking it the other way, dropping it in front of the net before Tadpole pops it in. And continuously Breezy, impressive in terms of finding the setups, getting the assists, and these near-perfect placements. I mean, I don't know. I would have liked it better had Breezy gotten credit for the goal because Tadpole knocked him into it, but I understand why Tadpole had to be the one who gets the point.
Yeah, it's fair enough, I guess. We do love a pool shot here as well. I mean, a pool shot own goal, that's the dream.
Yeah, I said you have to use your teammate in Breezy as well. Tadpole gets bumped off that play. Now Impulse trying to bang it back up to the opposite end. Into the corner we go. Foxy, oh, reads that one. Cheeky little fake. It doesn't create enough space, however. And now here comes Gibraltar with a chance to put one in. Ball comes down. Selly is there. Defense read by Foxy.
Good defense by Foxy, and I think that just shows the comfort levels on this Welsh squad right now. When you are faking an oncoming opponent in your own back corner, you're feeling okay about the state of the game. You're feeling okay about your just straight up mechanical ability and your ability to outplay your opponents as well. You can see it in the play for the Welsh squad. They are fully in control of the series and of this game.
Yeah, that they are. Tadpole looking for yet another one, trying to go for the pinch. Didn't quite get all of it. Still an impressive goal nonetheless. Only 77 kilometers per hour. Normally for a pinch, you want to crack 120. So it wasn't the perfect pinch, not by any stretch, but point still stands. 5-0 lead.
We have to do the conversions now. You got to remember that these are all UK citizens. They won't be used to it if we're trying to use kilometers an hour for them. So we need to start doing some mental maths. Miles per hour.
UK uses miles per. UK does not use imperial.
Yeah. They absolutely do.
I refuse to believe that.
I
thought the UK had class.
I mean, you can refuse to believe it all you want. I'm just telling you the truth here. I mean, it's miles per hour. I mean, if I cross the border from Ireland and the Republic into Northern Ireland, the road signs change from kilometers to miles, and all of a sudden I have to do some very fast mental maths to make sure I'm not speeding.
I am so incredibly disappointed. That's a good goal from Selly, 911, though. I'm not disappointed in that, Gibraltar. You can. I'm assuming Gibraltar uses the metric system because, you know, I trust these guys as they get that goal in.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do some quick Googling for you on that one and we'll figure that out. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Did you know the Fibonacci sequence?
No, I do not know the Fibonacci sequence.
It's the one where you add, like, you add 1 and 1 and you get 2, and then you add the number before, so it's 2 and 1 and you get 3, and then it's 3 and 2 and you get 5. And yeah, that's a really good way for converting between kilometers and miles. Oh. Because if you're at 5 miles, you're at about 8 kilometers. If you're at about 8 miles, you're at about 13 kilometers. If you're at about 13 miles, you're at about 21 kilometers. I don't know why it works. I'm sure someone knows much better than I do. But hey, if you're trying to do that quick maths, converting miles to kilometers, there you go. Now you know.
That's never going to be relevant for me because I refuse to go anywhere that uses the Imperial system. Less than a minute to go right now as Wales is sitting with that 6-1 lead off the backboard. Perplexed is going to try to get a pinch the other way. There was power behind that. Breezy will shut it down. Final 42 seconds. We could be seeing another funny scoreline right here. 7-1 on the table. Breezy tries to make it happen with a double but couldn't quite put it in.
Yeah, still on the table those. There's a lot of boost sitting in the tanks off this Wales squad right now. A little bit of a pinch will move that ball forward. Foxy half flipping underneath, but will be denied a follow-up touch by Tadpole. Breezy has time, has space, and has the air to use it. Foxy is going over the top, and Tadpole will put it straight into traffic on the goal line instead. 15 seconds left on the clock. The Brazil not yet manifested. In fact, it might be one the other way. It will be 6-2 as Gibraltar find another.
Yep, shutting down the Brazil, much to the fanfare right now, I believe, of the Gibraltar faithful. They didn't want to see that 7-1 scoreline. They're going to be happy to get another one in. And that means Gibraltar might even have a bit of momentum as we look ahead in towards game number 3 for Wales, though. You still have to think they control this series. 10 seconds left to go in game number 2 before we hit up another chance for a third sweep, by the way, on the mainstream in a row.
It would still be a little bit of a fairy tale if Gibraltar managed to come back and take the reverse sweep here. And as you say, we are back to a position we've been in a couple of times already on stream. The favourites 2-0. The underdogs looking to try and fight their way back into the series. But Gibraltar, I think we have to say we've been pleasantly surprised by them. I don't want to say we'd written them off, but we did come in with Wales being the overwhelming favourites into this series. And Gibraltar have absolutely given them a bit of a series, have contested them on defence and have made them think a few times when they get the ball down into the Wales half as well.
As we are, you know, I did the research. I did the quick check. I had to make sure Gibraltar does, in fact, use the metric system and not the imperial system. So if anything is going to give them that edge going into this third game, I have to fall back to that right now. They at least know how to measure their speeds correctly.
Yeah, quick, scare the Welsh. Everyone start quoting kilometers at them. And oh, but there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. It makes sense. It's not however many 3,000 feet and something there are in a mile.
Exactly.
Ooh, we can bamboozle the Welsh.
If you confuse them by forcing them to do that math you were talking about before with the Fibonacci sequence, if I pronounced that right, then who knows? Maybe they can turn it around. That's what I want to believe in. Look, at the end of the day, I'm just hoping Gibraltar can continue to kind of put pressure on this Welsh attack, because it's been exciting to watch their defense and how long they can hold that line, and it's going to be pivotal for them to continue to do so if they have any chance to make this reverse sweep happen.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, we've said it. If you're going to win a series as an underdog, a reverse sweep is not a bad way to try and do it. Put that pressure on your opponents. There is nothing for Gibraltar to lose here. There's everything for Wales. And Sele will just score a kickoff goal. That's the start you wanted.
Sele has scored all the goals so far for Gibraltar, and that one may have been the easiest yet. A kickoff goal goes in favor of the team in blue. We were talking about, hey, can they park that bus? Well, now they have 4 minutes and 58 seconds to do so.
That's going to be a tall task to try and do against this Welsh squad. Tadpole's going to put one straight in. Not quite. Crossbar denies. Crossbar denies again against Foxy and Breezy. A little bit too far forward. Is there a breakaway here for this Gibraltar squad as well? Perplexed takes it up in the middle of the pitch. Not quite, as Breezy now will take on the world, and he won't quite win as he runs into a wall head first. But Foxy is right behind him. That was a good defense, though, from Gibraltar, getting back in time to cover it after a bit of a botched attempt from Wales.
And these are the botched attempts that can play into that mental game. I said it at the start of game number 2. Gibraltar's best chance is that reverse sweep right now and frustrating their opponents. Wales, I mean, Tadpole thought that one was a shoe-in double touch. Easy done. Bounces off the post, and Wales still being stifled. Now Breezy, late reset. Follow-ups there from Tadpole. All right, they're still feeling confidence, I feel like, Alex.
Yeah.
That's going to be the equalizing shot.
This is the issue, is the Welsh squad are just mechanically good enough to do something like this. And unfortunately for the Gibraltar squad, for as much heart as they're showing, for the grit that they have coming out in this game, for the fact that they are just playing good, solid Rocket League, solid Rocket League is not going to help you against a play like that.
No, you need to bring out some of the best world-class Rocket League, dare I say, or Commonwealth class for the games at the very least. Tadpole through that corner will be trying to set up for someone. No one there for the immediate strike, so Tadpole's going to have to play set up again, this time using the reset. Too many defenders in the way, quite literally 2, as we watch it through the corner. Ball falls in front of the net. That's a weird touch, but it's straight to Impulse. The delicate touch when needed, actually paying dividends. A bit of space given. Gibraltar 2 over Ego, though, did send all members forward, and now an opening for Wales as Tadpole doesn't quite get the fake through.
It's a good job for Gibraltar managing to cover back, though. You love to see that. This is another one off the back wall. Sele collides with the inside of his own post. Breezy with the follow-up. Turns sideways in a demo, and net means Sele doesn't get a second bite at the apple. No chance to recover and go again.
Yeah, that was the first time we've seen the Wales team really get physical against the Gibraltar side. Opens up the doorway for Breezy. 2-1 lead for Wales. They've been able to take that lead back despite the kickoff goal against them. Took them just about a minute and a half to do so. And now Wales, they've only got just over 3 minutes away from winning their second series of the day.
Yeah, and much like Scotland going 2-0 already, that's a great goal by Breezy. It'll be good for Wales. They'll be happy to start on the 2-0. They'll have done it against, in theory, on paper, slightly stiffer opponents as well. Northern Ireland and Gibraltar dispatched, still having that game against Jersey too. Wales will be feeling pretty good heading towards that final clash against Scotland. Still waiting, the final boss at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is definitely being set up to be that clash to determine who does go to the main event. Again, Northern Ireland, though, will get that chance to play spoiler in our next round, assuming Wales is able to hold on to this lead right here, and it's looking like they should be able to do so on the attack one more time. Or are they? That's going to be a nice clear. Foxy should be the first one to it. As you can see, Selly trying to get that read. Foxy forced to keep it high. Uh-oh.
Yes, Elliot didn't even manage to pick up any pads down at the other end on the way to that ball. That means literally zero boost to contest a full tank Foxy on that line. And that's a tough place to be, contesting a player that good when you're trying to do it. I mean, you see it even in the pro game, right? I mean, pros, when they're on zero boost, are not going to beat other pros who are on full boost. When you're a player who's maybe, in theory, playing at a level below some of these other players, it's going to be tough. That's a good attempt for Broyles, but not quite the final pass. Foxy in the middle can't get control over that ball, and it's denied by Sele for the time being.
Something about this Gibraltar defense always seems to be doing enough to keep Wales just enough off balance that there are no easy goals for them, and I think it just comes from the awkward positions where they'll be looking to pressure or get those interceptions. It's not conventional defensive Rocket League, and that's been throwing Wales off at times. Gibraltar seems to play a little bit further forward than most, but not all the way in your face. They're kind of like in no man's land, but they make it work for them, so, you know, power to them. As they had a shooting opportunity, unfortunately, it will be a whiff on the strike.
Yeah, as Sele is still there, is still the man putting in defensive heroics for this squad. And it has been enough to keep this lead at only a 3-1, but Wales, they just keep coming back on. The orange tide is rising, and it isn't going to be denied time and time again. Perplex is trying to carry this one through, but Foxy just turns it straight back around, and here's Tadpole the chance to beat out Sele, but not quite, launches the ball directly into him.
As we do see, midfield sort of challenge perhaps. Breezy's going to pop it back up that other way. Foxy waits underneath for it and wanted Selly to bite, and Selly does, but actually steals it off of them, so well done by the defense once again. Breezy, though, thinks they have the opening for the double. The delayed use of the boost, 2-2 lethal for that Gibraltar defense, and that's going to be the 4-1 lead.
It felt almost inevitable, and it has for a little while, that goal finding the back of the net. Full credit to Gibraltar. They made Wales work for that one. They kept getting a man in the way of the ball. There was wheels to it every single time. But ultimately, the pressure shows, and Wales will find another one. The fake kickoff from Wales. And nearly the ball in the back of the net, but not quite. As Gibraltar are denied by the opposition crossbar.
I think that was close enough to make Wales maybe second guess any more fake kickoffs in the future. They still get the
I told you we'd get it better. I told you.
Oh, no. Well, you know what? If you can't score on the opponent's goal, score on your own. That one coming off Selly, who still is the only goal scorer for the Gibraltar side. Just making sure that goes both ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a wordier way of saying if you can't beat him, join him, right? Selly's applying for Welsh citizenship now. So even get it in. That's a clean 50 by Tadpole. And we are straight back on track for this Brazil.
Why would you want to leave a country that has the metric system for a country that uses Imperial? I don't understand. Either way, Tadpole is able to get it through. 6-1 lead. And once again, we're going to be playing defense from the Brazil scoreline. Can Gibraltar keep it away from 7-1? They did so last time by making it 6-2. This time, already under pressure, it will be Perplex who gets the clear.
And Foxy gets another big clear back the other way. Gets it all the way to Tadpole as well, who's waiting. An awkward ball to control. Tadpole has done well to get it as far onto the back wall as he has. And he steals away as well. Foxy out of nowhere. It was a depth charge as he dropped off the ceiling. That would have been such a sick goal.
Breezy going for a sick one themselves. The ground game, though, not enough to survive a bump for Perplex. Tadpole now with the chance, has boost to work with. Late reset. Foxy almost stole it. Instead, Tadpole gets the credit for forcing the Brazil scoreline.
Hello, welcome, my old friend. On one side, it's darkness. On the other side, it's Brazil. as we're back to that scoreline, the dreaded 7-1. See if we have enough time left to disrupt it here in Game 3 of this series. Wales will remain undefeated on the day. That has not been in doubt for a little while now. All that remains to be seen is exactly the fashion in which they do it. 3-0 is going to be the score in this series. It looks like the ball's going to drop one more goal in it. Are they going to break it themselves? 8-1, not quite. It'll drop to the ground. Wales will go 3-0, 6-0 in all their games, and they are 2-0 in series.
We are really setting up for a pretty epic clash between the Wales and the Scotland side right now. Both of them currently sitting at that 6-0 mark, 2-0 in terms of the standings right now. They've each kind of got one more game to kind of punch their way through. For the Wales side, they're going to be taking on Jersey next, so that's going to be happening off stream, because on stream it's going to be a good one. We're going to get Northern Ireland taking on Scotland, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, chance for Northern Ireland to play a little bit of spoiler and then hope that Scotland can beat Wales, get us all the way to a 3-way tie. It's all to come up after this quick break.
Shadows fall over my heart. I black out the moon. I wait for you to come around. You got me dancing in the dark. I close my eyes, but I won't sleep tonight. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill a life. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything black. Black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything black. Black everything, everything all black. Everything, everything all black. Everything, everything all black. Everything, everything black. In a nocturnal state of mind, children of the night, but it's the only way of life. It's black holes pulling me inside of this black heart, the black soul underneath this black, black sky. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. kill the lights, hit the lights, let it black out, black out, hit the lights, let it black out, black out. Black bird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything, black, black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, all black, everything, everything, black.
For the penultimate time today, welcome back to the European broadcast of the European qualifiers for the Commonwealth Esports Championship, where it's very exciting. Things are heating up now. Northern Ireland take on Scotland in what is essentially a fight for their lives in it. Northern Ireland need to win this match formal to even have a chance at qualifying for the games.
Exactly. It's going to be their last matchup as well for the day. Win or lose, win and they still have a chance, assuming Scotland can beat the likes of Wales in our final round. But if they fall short, so too will their chances. For Scotland, however, they have to be playing under the assumption that Wales, more likely than not, is going to get their victory in the next game against the likes of Jersey, and they need to be keeping pace, so they're going to be looking for a victory as well to continue their undefeated run.
Yeah, and a reminder that for tie-break rules, game differential will matter if we end up in a three-way tie. If Northern Ireland can beat Scotland, if Scotland can then beat Wales, we will have a three-way tie between those three teams, and the team with the lowest game differential will be eliminated, and then the head-to-head between the two remaining teams will be the ultimate decider. So the fact that Northern Ireland dropped a game to Gibraltar, I mean, if they're going to win this series, if they want to really take their fate into their own hands as much as possible, they kind of need to beat Scotland 3-0 or 3-1 here, I think, as well, Formal.
Yeah, I think 3-0 has to be the go, and follow that up with a Scotland victory over Wales in like a 3-2 fashion, almost. Either that, or kind of hope that Jersey can take the fight to Wales over in the off-stream game. Look, it's going to be an interesting battle, and technically there still is a way mathematically that Jersey actually can get through. They haven't been crossed out just yet, assuming Scotland and Wales each kind of fall short. Although, no, mathematically they are done, because either Scotland or Wales are going to have to win their game. So Jersey has been mathematically eliminated, as too has been Gibraltar. The two of them are unfortunately not going to be going through, and quite possibly after this next game, we're going to be adding Northern Ireland to that list.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility, given how strong Scotland looked in their match on stream earlier. But of course, that was against a potentially slightly weaker opponent as well. So there is a chance here for the Northern Ireland squad, but I do think they're going to have to come out with a lot of pace, with just keeping Scotland on their back feet. I think as soon as Scotland get time to breathe in this match formal, it may start to look a little bit dire for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you on that one. Scotland looked so good in that series we saw before, specifically their striking capabilities. They always were able to find that sweet spot of the ball. They could attack from any angle. We didn't see as much team play necessarily as we did out of the Wales team if we were kind of compare our two favorites, but we did see a lot of, I suppose, power and a lot of confidence in going for challenges. So whether or not that will carry through in this series against Northern Ireland, time will tell. Expectations would be Scotland to take the series just because of the substitute situation on the Northern Ireland side. But if an upset were to happen today, this is kind of that game that I highlighted as where we could see a different than expected result.
Yeah, I think if there is an upset likely to happen, it is probably this one, or potentially the final series of the day as well, where we have been talking Wales up all day as the favourite. Maybe a little bit of an attempt to put a caster curse on them here, because we just want a very exciting last series as well. But I think, yeah, Scotland, depending on how they perform in this series as well, will be coming in very warmed up. If Northern Ireland put up a fight against them, Scotland will really be in that kind of competitive mindset, whereas Wales, coming off the back of what should be on paper a less competitive series, may take a little bit of time to warm up into that last series.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to find that power within themselves. We should be kicking off this game. I'd have to imagine any moment. You have eyes on the field right now.
Yeah, I have eyes on the game.
How warm
we
do
are
the players
in
look?
a test lobby.
Are they
the
looking
players
good,
look
though?
Great. What I'm not seeing is any Scottish players. So that could be a little bit of an issue as we just wait for them to load on into this game. Should hopefully be sooner rather than later. Here we are getting the spectator view of it as well, as we can watch our lovely admin team and our observers play in the background as well.
Yeah, they loved it last time. Bassink denied a goal by the defense. A bit unfortunate right there. But yeah, so obviously as soon as the Scottish team does get in, hopefully we should be getting underway and into this matchup. I mean, Scotland, they did just have a break, did they not? So I don't know, maybe they're still finishing their meals, getting ready to go. I imagine we should be hearing from them shortly.
Yeah, hopefully. It could well just be a case of a bathroom break for one player, and it turns out that player is the contact. And then we end up in this situation where we're just stuck waiting for all of the teams anyway. We will, as we say, keep you updated with everything as these players join the match. The rest of the Northern Ireland squad have just jumped into the lobby, so we at least have one full roster, if nothing else, for the time being. And I'm seeing the Scottish team joining the match now, Formal. So hopefully after another 30 seconds or so of just test lobby, all the players making sure that they are happy with the lobby that has been selected, we will manage to get this match underway.
I mean, at this point moving forward, it should be pretty simple for the lobbies to be found. Everything kind of located in that United Kingdom between Wales, between Scotland, and then Northern Ireland, of course, going to be joining, well, in this game right here between these three, our final three teams we're seeing on stream. Lobbies should be quick, should be efficient. We should be expecting some very high-level play, as per usual. Oh boy, this is a big one. Northern Ireland, they really need to start off fast, I feel. If Scotland get that momentum, it's going to be a very painful series.
Yeah, fighting for a spot in Birmingham. Northern Ireland, their fate is out of their hands at this point, but they can keep it a little bit. They can keep their hopes alive with a win over Scotland. This is their last chance to impact the overall results today as we get ready to load into the game here. Players are happy with the server. We're getting ready to set up on pitch for Game 1 between Northern Ireland and Scotland for the Commonwealth Esports Championship.
This is a big one. Both these teams aware of what's on the line. A loss right here could be devastating for their chances. In fact, it would be the final blow for Northern Ireland. For Scotland, it means, well, they still have to climb what could appear to be a near impossible mountain to overcome. Oh, I'm ready to kick this one off. I'm ready to get into it. I'm salivating in anticipation. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ireland in blue, Scotland in orange, and we are underway.
We'll see. How does this game start to shape up? I'm expecting Scotland to get a lot of possession, a lot of boost, and spend a lot of time on the ball in this blue half. I'm expecting Northern Ireland then to hopefully try and find some counter-attacking plays of their own. Maybe looking at Jaffa to set a few of those up. That's an early shot from Scotland as they do look to set up this offensive platform in this blue half.
Yeah, Scotland did seem like a team that was a lot more comfortable on offense than defense, but that only was because we never really saw them on defense when they were playing against Jersey. I do expect Northern Ireland to be the first team to sort of test them out right now, as we can actually see it is the Northern Ireland side on the initial attack. Jaffa, the big player to watch for, it feels like, on the Northern Ireland team. Did quite well in that series against Wales despite the loss. Maybe we'll be able to make plays here. Shot's going to come through over the top. Northern Ireland get first draw blood.
Yeah, classy vibing. It's a soft touch in defense, and Calzify feeling maybe he has to do a little bit more than he actually has to. Overcommits a double commit in the middle of the pitch, and Pengu does a good job. Pops the ball high. A great finish. 1-0. First blood to Northern Ireland.
This is going to be pretty big. Again, Northern Ireland, they don't necessarily just need a win. They need the clean sweep for their best chance. So straight out of the gate swinging, get that early goal. Scotland now on the back foot. We haven't seen this team pressured yet in either against Jersey nor Gibraltar. Let's see how they handle that little bit of pressure. Right now, Scotland, again, they're stuck on defense.
Right now for Northern Ireland, you want to keep them on that back foot. Keep them on defense. Do not let them set up. Don't let a nice mech monkey goal go in for the Scottish side, because if they do, confidence may start to rise again, and that is not the position you want to be in. Gilzo's chasing this ball, but with zero boost, is in a very rough spot still. Manages to beat out Calzify in the middle pitch. Finds Pengu with pass as well. Pengu with a little bit of space. Jaffa trying to cause problems. Nearly causes enough problems, but pops with a big save on the line as the last man back.
And then we see the big Scottish clear right now. Back to the blue side of the field, where Classy Vibing will be looking to set it up. Tries to get the double. Angle was a little bit too tough for them to finish. Now more pressure comes through, and that's going to be saved on the line as well. So much pressure, so many strikes. Northern Ireland, they're trying to play this goal line defense. Scotland, so many opportunities. Surely this one does go in. Not quite, says Pengu, as they make the save on the line.
And Pengu recovers in air, picks up that corner boost that there were multiple Scottish players bearing down on as well. And this will allow Northern Ireland to get out of their own half for a little bit. That's going to be dangerous in front of net. Calzify gets a touch to it. It's over Jaffa's head, but the follow-up is there from Gilzo. Back wall, who's there, pops straight back to Jaffa, but Jaffa jumps a little bit too late. And the ball goes sailing over his head, delays what could have been another touchback, straight back to Scotland.
Classy Vibing is going to have to try to make that read through the corner. Does get past one. Now looking to get it past the second. Pengu shot. It's off the post. follow-up shot from Jaffa will be in, and Northern Ireland take a 2-0 lead.
Well. This is exactly what Northern Ireland needed to do, I think, in this series, is come out of the gates absolutely on fire and just take it to Scotland. Keep them on that back foot. Do not give them space. Do not give them respect that they have not earned. It's a hard thing to do in any Rocket League series, especially having lost to Wales earlier in the day, but I'm delighted to see this. And I don't know, I mean, I guess the question is, how much do we credit this to the fact that Northern Ireland have John, aka always coaching them? One of the words of advice being in the back room. There's a man who knows his way around a competitive Rocket League match at this point.
I mean, John, I have yet to see the man have a bad take necessarily on Reddit. Like he has a finger on the pulse for the competitive scene and reads on teams, so to see them kind of coaching a squad, not too much of a surprise for me, and the success that we're seeing right now has been exciting to watch. That said, still 100 seconds left. Pengu with a cheeky dunk. Couldn't quite put it accurate, and now actually a chance for Scotland.
Wow.
Back the other way, defense is broken, it's off the backboard, but another missed opportunity for the Scottish side.
Oh, Jaffa nearly finds the redirect into the back of the net there and nearly forced Calcified to score in the own goal then. Doesn't quite happen, but 2-0, maybe 3-0, not quite, as that's missed again. Jaffa, good 50, it's to the right of the goal. Time is ticking away. It is not Scotland's friend right now as we head towards our final minute of the match. It is still a 2-goal buffer for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, this is a fantastic start for the Northern Ireland team. Scotland has to be a little bit shocked right now how this series has begun. Pops tries to slow it down. Goes straight into Pengu, who's able to reverse into a clearing attempt. Here's the pass, set up and shot. Very clean looking goal, or dare I say a classy looking goal. Scotland back on the board.
Northern Ireland would have wanted that to happen if it was going to happen at all, maybe 20 seconds later. A bit less time on the clock with a full 58 seconds left. Scotland will be sensing that this game is still theirs for the taking. One more goal in it for them. Classy Vibing has a lot of boost and has a lot of space. Beats the first defender. Is the second defender there. Has a teammate in front of him as well. It's just going to take it off the back wall. Try and set up someone in the middle. Pops it there. There's the finish. And we saw it coming from deep as Classy Vibing was just given so much space.
Yeah, I mean, Pengu did try to challenge, but by that stage, the damage was done. And with all that boost burnt, no one there to challenge Pops as they go up for it. Scotland, they've recovered, and they absolutely needed to at this stage of the game. 46 seconds left. I'm going to call it golden goal now. Next person who scores probably wins it for their team.
Potentially. Can Northern Ireland refine that scoring form? They've been stuck on the back foot for a little while now. That's in. That's just in. Classy Vibing will find another one, sneaking it through two defenders.
Yeah, and that was really, really tight, and that's what allowed the success right there. The pass from Calcify being so close to the corner meant that for Northern Ireland to commit to it, they had to commit somewhat blind, not necessarily aware of where the strike was going to come from. You can see they tried to still play it tight to the goal, and that allowed the deeper pass to get to the attacker quite easily. You recognize it immediately. Yes, that's going to be a goal, and with that late lead, Scotland may have just secured game number one.
They could well have. Northern Ireland, they're stuck on the back foot, struggling to even break out of their own half for a while now. Here is the chance. This has to be it. Jaffa, the first touch, gets away from him, runs a little bit long, and then on the rotation out, Jaffa will deny Gilzo the touch infield as well. It's a comedy of errors in the last 10 seconds here for the Northern Ireland squad. Not how they would have wanted to end a game one that started so strongly for them with a 2-0 lead. Ball will be killed in the middle of the pitch, and Scotland complete the comeback, and they take game one.
Scotland, we wanted to see what happens when they get pressured, right? What does this team look like when they get challenged? Well, they absolutely rose to it. 3 goals in that final minute and a half to get themselves ahead and through game number one. Now with the lead in the series, knowing that it's kind of do or die for them. Again, their best chance to get to the main event. They need to win these games. So they got job number one done. Still need to do it 2 more times, and I don't think Northern Ireland is going to give it to them easy.
Yeah, I mean, look, John said that the coaching was to tell the team to just hit the ball. And honestly, I think that that's kind of what Northern Ireland need to do. They came out at the start of that game and they were contesting everything. They were up in Scotland's face. They were really pushing for it. We saw much less of that when they had the 2-goal lead in the last 90 seconds. They kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit. They tried to park the bus. And against a team as talented mechanically as the Scottish side, that is an incredibly dangerous play style to try and adopt, to try and transition to late in the game. They've been punished for it. Go back to committing to every ball. Go back to just hitting it every time.
Like that?
That could be the way back into Northern Ireland. Exactly like that. Get up and in their faces.
Oh, Classy vibing is going to try to look to set something up. This time he gets cleared back the other way. Pops being Northern Ireland on that back book. Jaffa going to go for a pass play. It's not really connected, and that could open a doorway down the middle. Pengu, the third defender, does enough to actually find the pass, and now Jaffa has a chance straight down the middle. Classy vibing from underneath makes the save. Jaffa, so pivotal for this Northern Ireland attack. Anytime you see them with space, you have to hold your breath a little bit because they draw so much attention from the Scottish defense. It feels like somewhere a door is opening up.
Yeah, it does. It does a little bit. And here is Jaffa with the ball again. Again, though, the first touch, not the cleanest, and it's gotten away from him. Gilzo misses off the back wall. Space, Classy vibing.
That's in.
Will take that on the half bounce and will always score that.
And that is 4 unanswered goals right now for the Scotland side as we watch Classy vibing again. We talked about the power and the angles where Scotland can find their strikes from. Another example of it right there, Scotland. They get the early lead, 1-0 in the first minute of play.
0, as you say, 4 unanswered goals, and this was exactly what we said. Northern Ireland, they needed to come out hot. They needed to score unanswered goals, and they needed to keep Scotland on the back foot. The question was, how long can you keep Scotland reeling? How long can you stop them from getting back into the game? The answer was not even till the end of game 1, it feels like. Scotland have now found their footing in the matchup, have found their rhythm, and it is the 4 unanswered goals. They're looking to extend their lead here. 2
big
demos. And that nearly leads to the goal, not quite this time around.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised Jaffa was able to find a way through as demos continue to happen in the middle of the pitch right now. There's demos happening everywhere. It's like a fireworks show happening underwater right now as Gilzo does find the pass, but they cannot connect. Gilzo will go up themselves, unable to beat the second defender.
It was a good attempt by Gills, though. He recognized that if he had any chance of scoring there, it was underneath the defender, but the angle was just closed off a little bit too much. Pengu is underneath this ball, is chasing it, is over the back, will not be given a chance for the Doomsy dish. Great first touch by Jaffa this time around, and the 50 is pretty solid as well. Pengu up the wall to chase that ball, will try and get it mid, but not quite. Defense is in the way, and a pinch attempt between Calvespy and Classy Vibing sends that one far down pitch.
Yeah, we continue to go back and forth now. Jaffa, whoa, making the helicopter reset, still able to get it into the forward corner, and here comes the follow-through, an opening perhaps on the Northern Irish side. They don't get it straight away. Jaffa does get a big bump as we see the follow-up shot from Pengu. Will be saved on the line yet again. Calcify trying to bounce it back. Another bump this time from above. Here comes Jaffa's shot towards the goal, but it's not in.
Oh, for once a period where the low boost was on the Scottish side instead of the Northern Ireland side. Calcify was basically the only remaining player with boost on that orange team and still managed to get across, still managed to make a big save on a launch shot from Jaffa. Calcify will be denied just about on the goal line. Excellent save on that one, but an even better attempt by Calcify. That was a very tough way to try and score.
Yeah, Pengu was the one who got behind it to come through with that save. I thought for sure it was going in, and those are the key moments that can keep Northern Ireland in it. Here comes Jaffa. Two defenders, well, only one defender bit. The bump got rid of the second defender. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't matter because it's Pops with space. It's Pops slowing it down. Underneath, though, no strike to be had. Jaffa, well, went for what they thought was an interception. Instead, it was just kind of a clear back to the middle of the field. Now a minute and a half remaining. Classy throws it down to Pops. Here comes the shot. Whoa, that was dangerous. Still not done yet, though. Scotland, they want that 2-goal lead. The defense not able to do enough, and Pops gets credit for the goal.
Yeah, sometimes not getting the bump but just going for it is enough. Calcify doesn't make contact there, I believe, but it is still enough to force Gilzo out of the way, to force him off the line and out of the path of that ball. The physical play has been working out for Scotland. They'll continue it there with their second goal, and now a little bit of a cushion. It's up to Northern Ireland to try and make the same comeback that Scotland did in Game 1.
Yeah, they've got not a lot of time to do it, but it was more than enough time for Scotland, what we saw before in Game 1. As now we see the first shot from Pengu, pretty easily read by Calcify. In fact, space given to Calcify as well, and that's been a reoccurring trend, I feel. Northern Ireland giving up space high and above the middle of the pitch right now. That's where Scotland's been able to find a lot of openings, and it's leading to more pressure once more.
Yeah, once again there was a huge amount of time given on the ball to a couple of Scottish players. It wasn't quite a goal. This might be. Now, Gilzo on the line. I asked for a return to the start of Game 1. I asked to see the Northern Ireland players just full committing. Just hold down that boost button. Pretend that you can't do anything except accelerate. That hasn't quite been the play style from them. They've given Scotland a decent amount of space to get what they want done. and they haven't looked all that threatening on the opposition goal line when they do get up there, unfortunately.
Yeah, this game just not really going Northern Ireland's way as Calzify once more finds that angle from the corner. That should put Game 2 under lock and key, and if Northern Ireland is going to play spoiler, they're going to have to do it now in a reverse sweep.
We do say the reverse sweep is the way to try and do it if you are an underdog, but it will require you probably taking that game very close to the wire in Game 3. Scotland have had Northern Ireland's number in the last 6 minutes of gameplay or so. It is now up to 6 uncontested goals, or unanswered goals, I should say. They were a little bit contested by Northern Ireland. They're looking to get one of their own back here at the end of Game 2. That'll be a way to set up for Game 3. A little bit of momentum, a little bit of a consolation goal. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. The defense is strong. In fact, it may just be one more for Scotland. The ball bounces. But that's as close as it gets without going in at the end of Game 2.
And this Scotland team, look, we've seen some of the other competitors right now, and when I'm looking at the overall sort of strength of the teams that have qualified for the Commonwealth Games, I mean, they would be up there competing with some of them. And again, they're not even, you know, our pick as the favorites right now, but they are coming together. And that Game 2 so much stronger than the Game 1 performance. They carried off that momentum from that final minute and a half. They haven't really allowed Northern Ireland too many opportunities, and as long as they control that middle of the pitch, as long as they control the elevation game, I feel like we should be looking at the 3-0 here.
I mean, deja vu. I feel like I've been in this place before. We are in the position of one of our teams having to reverse sweep. We're on the brink of another 3-0 sweep. The day has been flying by, as it seems the teams are as eager as we are to get to that decisive match between Scotland and Wales. Whatever happens here, even if Northern Ireland complete the comeback, that will be a decisive match for Wales, as they will be on track to just go undefeated, on track to lock themselves in as that representative at the Commonwealth Esports Championships. Still at least 5 minutes of regulation Rocket League here to go. Can Northern Ireland manage to claw this one back?
It's going to be a tough fight, that is for certain. If they are going to find those openings, we need to see that fast start like we saw in game number 1. And Jaffa seems to agree with this analysis. Goes straight for the shot off the kickoff. Was denied on the line by Classy Vibing. Still, though, all of the Irish members are all putting pressure. It's an awkward back pass, though. Gilzo winds up giving possession away.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the issue with teams that haven't been playing together all that long. Gilzo steals it off the nose of Jaffa's car as he was trying to keep that ball moving forward, and it has completely slowed down the momentum of this attack. Credit to Northern Ireland, though. They've recovered. They are keeping players in this half, and they've kept the ball up here as well. What a shot! Oh, what a save as well. Calzify's on the line. That was out of absolutely nowhere.
That should have gone in my opinion. Somehow it didn't. And well, very, very fortunate defense as we continue to see a Northern Ireland attack. This time, Classy Vibing is the one who's going to try to create that space. Pops from up above, though, will actually kind of drop it right back into the Irish attacking side. Gilzo is able to center the ball enough, yet no one else from Northern Ireland wanted to play it forward.
Good pressure from Northern Ireland. Great chances that they've created there, but they don't have a goal to show for it. Jaffa is the last man back now, and a Scotland score now. That could start to feel a little bit like an Ellen Copper. Good pass to Jaffa. Good job by Calzify to read where that ball was going to be. Very, very strong defensive play. And now who's back? Pengu is rotating all the way through. Pops is uncontested, stealing that boost because the entire Northern Ireland team has pushed forward as a unit. How much space have they left at home? Maybe a little bit too much. They do get back in time to cover.
Underneath, Gilzo, though, might have an opening. That's a big clear. And you already have Pengu down, but they weren't able to catch the pass. Might not matter. Second touch. Too slow to it. The speed of Scotland saving another goal.
Scotland are getting back. It's Calzify more often than not the last man back to do it, but now Calzify stranded in the wrong half of the pitch. Gilzo looked for a dunk and couldn't quite find it. Pengu trying to contest, and lots of players missing that. That is a classic case of the whiffles there for them.
Yep. Yeah, it's contagious. It is spreading, and players obviously not putting masks over their cars. Might not matter. 2 shots each go high. Northern Ireland would have been able to sneak one through. Instead, they have to play a little bit more defense. As we do see the pass down once more. Scotland should be able to get a clear, you would think, especially with the attacking side in shambles. Jaffa kind of got bumped into that save.
Zero boost on anyone in this Northern Ireland defense. Jaffa had a few pads. He's picked up a few more there. But you could see it. Jaffa was forced to sit inside, look for a squishy save if that one came, as his teammate was on the ground with absolutely zero. So far in this game, it is 6 shots, 2-3. A little bit contrary to how some of the previous games have gone, but Scotland the shots that they have had look very, very threatening. In fact, they've climbed up to 4, closing that deficit. But still at 0-0, 3 minutes gone here in Game 3. This would be such an important match for Northern Ireland if they can win this.
Oh, but they have to continue to play this goal line defense. The Scottish attack lasts so much longer and feels so much more lethal. It's only these flash moments of brilliance that's keeping Northern Ireland competitive, it seems. But this game, it's been the tightest one yet. Calcify actually has to go for a back pass, and this could be that opening. 2 members from Northern Ireland underneath. One was centered. Jaffa couldn't quite get around it, and that's another missed opportunity. Calcify with the deep clear.
Here comes Jaffa, has the ball, but runs straight into Pops. Classy Vibing beats out Gilzo, who tried to fake it. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that backflip. Calcify has full boost, has a ball down off the crossbar. Gilzo pops it high over the oncoming attacker. Classy Vibing looking to close it away right here, right now. It's on target, but it's onto the defenders who are in that target.
Scotland is doing everything they can to get it past this Irish defense, which continues to hold on. And now Jaffa with space themselves. Couldn't quite get that nice read. Might not matter. Gilzo with the shot. Calcify with the save. And it's taken immediately the other way. Pops his lobber. Will get that ball to the far corner. And Classy Vibing was waiting. Going for the double touch pass. Shot over the top. Calcify takes the late lead.
Who else but Calcify has been the hero in defense over and over for this Scottish squad, and just that inch faster than Gilzo, just beating him out. The Northern Ireland defense, it held strong, it couldn't hold forever. Now they're in the position, they're chasing this game, they're chasing the series. 45 seconds to get one. Gilzo's on target, will not dunk. Classy Vibing as he takes it to the right.
Yeah, but you can see Northern Ireland, they're still going to be looking for those opportunities. Ball going the wrong way, though. Pengu has to corral it. Not a lot of boost to work with. Does just enough to pop it up. Yet that full tank for Classy Vibing means it will go the opposite direction. Out of the corner, the pinch just kills time. Crossing up the net. 2 defenders chase, and that nearly goes in off the pinch. That would have been the killing blow. Instead, we still have a 1-goal game until now. Calcify's double pushes Scotland to the 3-0 sweep.
That has to be it. That has to be the goal that sets up a match we have been hyping all day long. Wales versus Scotland. 1 best of 5. One of these nations will go all the way to the Commonwealth Esports Championship. Northern Ireland, a valiant effort. They held on as long as they could. They made them work in Game 3. But Scotland have just proved the superior team on this pitch. Northern Ireland not quite able to get there.
That really has been the theme, though, of these games, hasn't it? Making them work. We've seen that so often. We saw it from Gibraltar. We've seen it from Northern Ireland twice. And what that tells me is between the Scotland and Wales matchup, both of these teams are going to have to work if they're going to want it to put it together. Each of them undefeated up until this point. I haven't gotten confirmation on the final scoreline in that other off-stream series yet. When I last checked, it was 2-0 in favor of Wales. You'd have to think they're going to get that win over Jersey, and it's going to come down to the decider. The 2 undefeated teams, and only one of them get to go to Birmingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who has joined us here today, it does all come down to this. Despite Gibraltar, Jersey and Northern Ireland doing everything they could, the juggernauts of Wales and Scotland have done what they need to reach this point undefeated. We're going to go to break, I'm afraid, but we will be back with the showdown to decide which of these 2 teams will get to go to Birmingham this year.
I
This is it. 2 rosters undefeated so far in the qualifier. Only 1 spot up for grabs at the Commonwealth Esports Championship happening in Birmingham later this summer. Scotland and Wales have done everything they need to up until this point. Dispatched every opponent in their way, doing so in comfortable fashion for the most part. And now only 1 opponent stands between them and that trip. Formal, this is going to be a hell of a series.
Yeah, expectations are as high as possible with everything on the line. We do know for a fact there will be no tiebreakers. There will be no second chances. Whoever wins this series is going to that main event, playing in the ICC, playing in Birmingham on that main stage. It's going to be on August 6th. That's where you're going to want to be. So, who is going to be that team going through? Who's going to be joining the likes of Australia, India, Kenya, Team World Connected, the Caribbean, Canada, England? It's the final spot, Alex, and it's all coming down to this.
I'm so excited for this series. So I guess let's just take a brief moment to manage our expectations and talk a little bit about how we do expect this series to go. We've just seen Scotland take their win over Northern Ireland. Again, they looked pretty comfortable doing so. Northern Ireland definitely gave them a series of it, but the ability to step up was there, especially on an individual level for these Scottish players.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be taken to that next level, I feel like, because if there's one thing that's been consistent throughout the day, it's been the Wales mechanics. These guys are so fast, so decisive. Tadpole as well as Breezy have been playing next level, it feels like, in each and every series. Breezy we've come to expect. Tadpole, turns out, still's got it from a couple years in the past, and even when called upon, Foxy has been looking quite strong as well. That was the question mark for this team. I don't think they have any question marks right now. Wales still going to be the favorite as we get into our final series of the day.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm sitting here, I'm watching the warm-up lobby. I don't think I've seen a more active one all day. All 6 of these players in there getting involved. They want to keep the hands warm. They are keeping the mechanics up. All of these players want to be the player that makes their impact, because let's not forget, I mean, even if these players have experience at the top level, this is playing for your country. This is something special.
I mean, it's kind of a shame we can only send one of these 2 teams through, but that's how things work in sports, both, you know, when it comes to traditional sports, as well as on the online gamosphere, and that's probably going to be the most boomer thing I say today. Look, this is going to be a fantastic series when we do get into it. At that same token, the question marks, the pressure, I think it's going to be a bit more on that Scottish side right now. They still are going to be the underdogs in this one. And whether or not they come out swinging, whether or not they continue that momentum is to be seen.
Yeah, we are ready to get underway. Just 3 games stand between either one of these teams and the Commonwealth Esports Championships. The first ever Commonwealth Esports Championships happening this year. The players are ready. The pitch is ready. We're loading in. It's Scotland versus Wales for all the marbles.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It will be Scotland in blue, will be Wales in orange. As we get, of course, it has to be Mansfield to start things off, right? It only makes sense for the European-based stadium for the Euro finals right here. Win and in, kicking off game number 1. Who's going to get that initial goal? And how fast will it be? Tadpole did get the setup there, but without the boost, can't follow it through.
Yeah, Breezy. I mean, if you want to take bets on who's going to get it, Breezy on one side, Calzify on the other. I reckon Breezy's at least going to be involved. Defense stands firm, pops as an open. Oh! Never mind, all the speculation goes straight out the window. Pops in only 19 seconds.
And I have to admit, that's not one I would have been banking on for sure. Pops, though, with the only one there to make the read out of the corner, is going to get that go-ahead goal. So Scotland, 1-0 lead. This is that fire start that the Scottish side needed.
This is exactly what they wanted. Now, how quickly can Wales answer? Can Wales answer at all? Foxy is in the back corner, has that ball, but it's straight back down. Scotland, they're keeping this pressure on. Breezy to get it past one. Pops is the last man back, and he touches it down to Classy Vibing, who takes an awkward touch to just try and delay it in the middle of the pitch, but that has left it. Breezy had room to maybe do a little bit more there, and honestly, you might expect him to do a little bit more. Tadpole with a pinch to keep that one out.
Ooh, that was a very nice pinch as we do continue to go back and forth. And coming into this series as well, something that I'm kind of being mindful of is how much do these teams still have in the tank? A, it's been a long day. B, this is going to be their toughest challenge yet. Again, like the 2 undefeated teams, they're going to be going up against their toughest opponents now. How much have they been holding back so far? Because up to this point, Scotland, they're looking like the more dominant team. They're looking like the faster team, definitely the more accurate one, as Classy Vibing eventually does get that goal through. This is very, very good for the Scottish team.
It took all 3 members to get that ball in the back of the net, but in the back of the net is where it ended. And Classy Vibing showing accuracy to put it on the back post, to put it behind Breezy, who is sitting on the line. Maybe physical play for Wales is the answer. Tadpole has gone out of his way to demo Pops there, but the ball has ended up down in the orange half again anyway. And it's Classy Vibing demoing Tadpole right back. These teams are ready to start to tangle, to get a little bit involved with each other.
I mean, seeing Wales to be the first team to get physical, not too surprising. They have been physical the other 2 times we saw them on stream. They're not afraid to get their bump game going, and they're continuing to try to put pressure on that net. Breezy's going to go for the shot in the corner. Defenders double commit, but they find enough of a touch to get that ball out to a safer place on the field. Wales, I think they're going to have to continue to be physical right now. Scotland looks far too comfortable at the pace of this game. Breezy going the distance, has the reset, but doesn't commit for it. Second shot will come off the backboard underneath. Tadpole can't get there in time.
Honestly, I expected Breezy to score that one. I'm a little bit surprised we don't have a first goal for Wales. A big demo by Breezy onto Classy Vibing. Tadpole with the ball. Foxy in the back pocket. Here he comes. The save is big. Breezy with the follow-up, though, will keep it underneath the crossbar. We're back to a 1-goal game.
I mean, Tadpole does all of the work up above. I don't know how Classy Vibing was able to get that save from Foxy. That looked like a shoe-in for sure. However, far too much attacking pressure, realistically, for Scotland to handle. Wales does get on the board. It does come from their star player. Still over half a game to go. Plenty of time for Wales to equalize.
This is exactly what I wanted out of this series. It's what we all wanted out of this series. It is back and forth Rocket League. It is haymakers being thrown by our 2 heavyweights on the day, and we still have so much more of it left here.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, if any series is going to go 5, you would expect it to be this one. This is the one that could go the distance. Breezy gets the touch off the backboard, swing and a miss from the defense.
Open.
That's going to open up the door for Foxy, and we have ourselves the tied ball game.
Tied game. Wales with 2 unanswered goals. Scotland's 2 answered goals to start the game off. Next goal going to be so important. Underneath half a game left. Who manages to edge it out from here? Wales, when they find the space, they are cutting this Scottish defense open. The physical play has started to work out for them. And now Foxy and Breezy in front of net. They have a lot of space. Classy Vibing is the last man. Gets a touch of the ball and gets a second one to get it clear.
Tadpole, though, will still find that boomer, trying to find some exposed backboard. Gets it underneath. Great pass, great shot. Save will be made by Classy Vibing. You can see how dangerous Wales are, though. 1 defender misses, and they're immediately looking for the goal.
Will pounce if you give them half a chance to. Here's Breezy rising, not much boost, manages it well in the air, gets the ball moving forward. Classy Vibing, similar situation, has Pops in the middle. They'll look for a pinch, they won't quite find it as a Welsh player gets involved as well. All of these players now taking their time, they're popping it high, they're asking if the defense has enough boost to get up there and meet them. So far, the answer has always been yes, but that's going to start to run out as this play style continues. Tadpole, will he get beaten? Pops does win the 50. Can Pops recover? Not well enough, but here's his teammate, Calzify, coming across face a goal. We'll find a third for Scotland.
Calzify continuing to be the most clutch member on the Scottish side. Right place, right time, complete trust that Foxy was going to miss that play. Not a lot of players would go for that kind of commitment right there, but absolutely had to find that goal. Great heads-up motion from Scotland. Now they just need to park their own bus, right? 1.5 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time for Wales to get that equalizer once again.
Still plenty of time. Will they, though? They're trying for it. They're hunting for it. They want it. We can see how hungry they are for this goal. Starting off 1-0 down is not in the plan for Wales in this series. But they have a little bit of work left to do. Breezy in the middle. He doesn't have teammates there. That needed to either be a slower touch or a shot. It feels like it hasn't worked out for the time being. But Scotland, they're struggling to get this ball clear. That's across the face. It's too high for Pops to follow. And not quite enough for Scotland to get on the other end of it. Wales will come roaring back at them. Breezy all the way over the top. That might be an own goal. It won't be as Classy Vibing saves it.
Yet here comes Foxy, shot from the corner again off the backboard, defense misses, and Tadpole gets the open net. Wales coming up clutch yet again, tie ball game.
And this time, There's only 41 seconds left on the clock. I said it was going to be important after that equaliser went in just under the halfway line. Scotland had it in them to regain a lead from there. Do they have it in them to do it again in regulation time? Are we heading straight for a Game 1 overtime between these two teams?
I think we might be either way. We can kind of call it the golden goal now because the next goal will win this game. I'm going to say it. Regulation or overtime, you've got to get it through. Final 30 seconds, though, initially going in favor of the Scottish side. Wales does get that clear off the backboard. Classy Vibing will slow it down into the corner. It's a bit of a delayed challenge out of the Wales team. Eventually, Foxy does get there through the corner. Final 8 seconds. Ball gets centered. It's awkward, and yet Calcify is able to push it to the opposite end.
Pops is trying. He will get this cross-facing goal. Tadpole is there. Reads where the bounce was going. And now one last chance for Wales. Foxy is waiting. It'll be killed by the Scottish defense. We head to an overtime in Game 1.
Game 1 overtime. Just like how we started off the day, we're seeing it repeated here in what I'm calling to be our finals because for all intents and purposes, it absolutely is, and it will be, it looks like, Scotland with the initial possession, yet Wales on the initial attack.
Yeah, Foxy's rising, but will get beaten out by Pops, who had more speed, more height, and Calcify's underneath that ball. Pops choosing to commit instead of stealing the boost away. I believe Calcify got it anyway. Tadpole gets it over. Calcify with that boost gets home in time to clear that ball, but lands awkwardly, and Breezy is trying to find teammates in the middle. I don't even know how Calcify recovered well enough and was the first player to that ball. He's doing it all for the Scottish team right now. That is dangerous, but there's no follow-up. Breezy has teammates in front of him. A big flick over the top, and Classy Vibing is there to collect it.
Breezy, though, wanted to stay with it. Foxy actually cutting off the star player. It's all well and good for Wales momentarily because it allows Breezy to rotate back around and keep the ball on the Scottish side. Calcify, slower approach, dodges Foxy, gets it around Tadpole. Breezy trying to throw it back forward to Tadpole, who will collect it off that wall. Just leaves it for Classy Vibing to try and pressure the corner. Keeps it up and above Foxy, who recovers and still got a touch. Both teams, they're giving a little bit more space than they gave before. Breezy, the first one to try to mix it up, winds up giving the ball away. Back and forth we go. It's all a fight for that initial rotating, breaking touch. Breezy might have it here. One reset. It's late and it's wide.
Oh, the idea was so clever, though. That was going to be so hard to defend if it was on target. It hasn't been on target, though. Calcify nearly gets bumped in the goal. That could have been on target. That could have been in. It isn't. We remain in overtime. I'm glad you brought it up. These teams are getting a little bit more hesitant. They're giving each other a little bit more space. No one wants to make a mistake at this point. Nearly 2 minutes into overtime.
Yeah, and there is absolute pressure here. Now, some of the players on the Wales side, yes, have that international experience. Realistically, it's Breezy and Tadpole. No one else really has that same level of international experience. They're all playing for that first big-time land, not to mention the fact it's a very big-time land. It's the Commonwealth Games, so much on the line for these teams. We expect nerves to kind of play a role right now, and it's causing shots like this that should have gone through. Pops with an amazing save.
Big saves, heroics for both teams on the defense, but the offense has looked so good for both of them. They are very, very scary in the attack. That's a lot of space for Foxy. Big bump. Clear the way for Tadpole. Not quite. Not quite. It looked like the physical play was going to work out one more time for Wales. Pops is over the top. He beats it. Tadpole. It's falling. It's falling dangerously, but not dangerously enough, as Calcify was a bit too far back. And now it's Foxy versus Classy Vibing. A backflip will keep the ball clear. Foxy is stealing away. Boost in the background. Can Foxy get on the other end of this? Not quite. The handbrake won't come in play. Will not get around that corner quickly enough.
The longer this overtime goes, the more emotional weight is kind of put on it and the more impactful that Game 1 will be. This is going to be so huge for our series overall, and it's all about getting that next goal. And this could be it right here. Pops puts it up. Could have taken the shot. Instead was looking for the pass. Breezy, nice reset to keep it away, and the ball is continuing to be elevated. Now it drops down low. Pops was able to recover and clears it to safety.
Big 50. Pops' 50s have been so good all game long. He's been winning them more often than not. It is setting up this Scotland team a lot of the time in front of net. Breezy trying to find a teammate in the middle of the pitch. Found Classy Vibing instead. Here's Pops chasing it again. Doesn't find the redirect. Call it a fake, as Foxy was the player underneath it, though. Classy Vibing is the last man back. Needs to be safe on this ball. It's safe. It might not be safe enough. It's Breezy over the top. It's the 50. It's supposed to deny the goal, and Wales are denied another.
Calcify gets credit for the save. but that was near miraculous. It looked for sure like Breezy was going to put that in. We've seen them do it so many times before. Now, Foxy looking to set up Wales one more time. Ball off that backboard. Calcify is going to try to drop it as far up the pitch as possible. It's going to be read by Tadpole, who will continue to keep the ball on the Scottish side. Awkward defensive touch. That's Tadpole with the dunk. But again, Calcify will make the save along the goal line. That's a big whiff. Yet somehow, someway, Classy stays patient and comes through with another big-time save.
The reaction speed on these players is wild to me right now. I don't know how you keep your nerve like that after nearly a full 5 minutes of overtime. But somehow Scotland have held on. Here is Wales. Is this the attack that does it? Of course not. Calcify with another block. Breezy though. Dangerous when he has a tank boost. Dangerous in the air. He gets past one. He won't get past Pops, who wins another 50. And here's Classy Vibing bearing down on the defense. A little bit of space for Calcify. A little bit of space for Classy Vibing. Scotland though cut out. This is end to end, and it does not end.
Defender misses underneath. Foxy not challenged, but plays like he is. Still is able to get the ball to the other side, and you have to recognize right now, Wales has spent a majority of this offense, I'd say 3 minutes to 2 right now. It has been Wales' attack, but 2 of them came before Scotland's response, only about 10-15 seconds. This Scotland defense has been under so much pressure for so long, and now they have to do it again. I feel like eventually they're going to break. Not just
surely
yet,
now,
however.
surely now.
Here we go. Tadpole looking for the second touch. Kept it wide. Now drops it in front of the net, but Pops his patient play once more. Temporarily bailed Scotland out. Net shots off the top crossbar. Still not in. The next shot will be stopped with a block. Foxy opens the door, and Wales finally get the win.
What a bump. As it was just Scotland, completely out of boost, out of time, out of players on the goal line, and Wales finally capable of capitalising on that. Scotland held on white knuckles for the last 3 minutes of that overtime, and it was ultimately a physical play that got Wales through.
Game 1. That's just game 1.
Will we do
They
that
have
4
to
more
do it
times?
2 more yeah, 4.
Will we do that 4 more times? I'd be down to do that 4 more times if you're down to do that 4 more times.
I would be too, but I don't know if Scotland would be able to. Genuinely right now. That was so much attacking, high stress pressure in an overtime, playing that goal line defense. Eventually they broke, and I'm worried that that could break them in more than one way. Remember, that's Scotland's first loss of the afternoon. Yeah. And it came after 5.5 minutes of overtime. That's a tough one to bounce back from. Scotland needs the opening goal. Scotland needs this game win. If they go down reverse sweep match point against Wales after that first game, I feel like we could be looking at Wales going to the main event.
I completely agree with you. It's going to be on Scotland to prove that they can recover from that heartbreaker of a game 1. It is hard enough for teams that play together full time, that are, used to it, have the synergy, know the momentum, know that there's more to come afterwards. For Scotland, this could be the last time this team ever plays together. We don't know if there will be more international events in the near future like this, that there's a chance for them to do it. This could be their last series as a team, and they've just lost a 5-minute overtime game 1.
Yeah, but they're coming out swinging in game number 2. This first 30 seconds has been all Scotland, and they are looking to get that go-ahead goal. Pops, in particular, has been the player on the Scottish side who I like to highlight, has been stepping up so much, who's been actually relatively quiet throughout the day, but in this series has been big. That said, Breezy, always a threat with those touches. Shot nearly goes in. This time it's Pops with the save. Follow-up shot, though, goes a little bit high underneath. Classy Vibing gets there first.
Classy Vibing trying to get a follow-up touch, trying to get the dunk, couldn't do it, ran out of boost in the middle. As we take a few deep breaths, we settle here. It's game 2. The stakes are still just as high for the series, but in terms of moment to moment, not quite as high. Breezy, though, I mean, what? What was that?
Just Breezy things, I guess. I'm not too sure right there. I mean, it was just a pass-up shot and kind of touch in. I kind of feel like that's a mistake from the Scotland defense.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. But also, Breezy is flipping and rolling and gliding behind that ball, and who knows when the touch that goes on target comes in.
Exactly, and that's just the threat of Breezy, right? You don't really know what they're going to be able to do. There's such a mechanically gifted player that you have to assume there's something up the sleeve, and even when there's nothing, it can catch you off guard.
Here comes Foxy. He looks for a flipper. He set somehow that's ended up in front of net. but it doesn't end up in the back, and that's all that really matters. Ultimately, it's points on the board that you need to score. Scotland, they're being denied the chance to even try and get a goal of their own at the moment. They are being penned into their own half by the Welsh squad. This is maybe a chance for them to break out, but it falls into Breezy's waving arms. He beats one. Classy Vibing launches it along. It'll be off the post. Where's the follow-up? Who's there? It's no one. The answer is no one for the Scottish squad, and a great chance goes a begging as they just race to try and find boost in a low.
Shaking my head right now. Scotland had to capitalize on that. They're already down 1 goal. They cannot afford to go down 2, both in terms of games and goals in this second matchup. Pops unable to get to the ball in time for that setup. Calcify, though, will play it forward. Calcify has been the star player up until this point, but can only do so much with it. You can see Pops playing deep third man. Now goes up to challenge.
Oh, there it is.
Actually, we'll get it to the backboard. Calcify underneath gets the equalizer, and Scotland is back on track.
Yeah, those dangerous balls when they bounce in front of your net, water falling down. And there's Calcify to finish. He will not miss. He's got the eye in. Has been finding those angles all day long, and it's that easy when you're on the goal line. Back to a tied game. Back with half a game left. Surely they're not going to give us another 5-minute overtime. We'd be spoiled for it, but I don't think my heart could take it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how these players could take it as well. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in this game before we start talking overtime. Only just passing the halfway point now, and Wales was on the hunt until Calcify got their hands on it. Now Classy Vibing looking for the go-ahead. Does run into the defender of Breezy, not once but twice. Calcify still trying to find shots. Now it's Pops out of the corner. No boost to continue on it. Doesn't even get the bump on the Foxy, who goes back the other way. Ball behind Classy Vibing, who bumps his own teammate. Fortunately, no one was there from Wales to punish.
Bit of a double commit in the middle of the pitch, though, from Scotland. They'll have used a lot of boost to do that. They're now going to be under a lot of threat from this Wales offense for the time being. Tadpole, he's going to collect this. He's going to turn it around, and he's going to take it off the ceiling. He has the reset. He will not get it with the flip. Doesn't quite make contact with the ball. Now, Classy Vibing trying to dunk Breezy, and how often do you get to hear people say that in this level of play? Not very. It's a great position to be in, and honestly, I think credit to the Scotland squad. They are not playing scared at all. They know that this series is winnable for them.
They absolutely do, as Tadpole is going to pop one back over to Calcify, looking for that next touchdown underneath, trying to pass it out. Just runs into a bunch of traffic instead. Ball will find its way in front of the net. Classy Vibing a bit too slow, and Wales already on the counterattack. Not quite accurate with it, not quite fast enough either. Scotland's defense will set themselves up again once more as we continue to go back and forth. What an awkward slowing down of the pace right there. Not sure what just happened. Either way, Calcify will clear it up the side.
I was watching as Breezy was just fully stationary for a few seconds there. He was in the path that the defenders would have had to take to rotate in, so he just genuinely parked the car and was like, all right, you want to get back to your net, you have to go through me. The entire play kind of slows down around him as the pace just does slow a little bit. I think we're already heading back to that kind of golden goal moment where both of these players have just been out of that 5.5 minute long overtime. They're fully in that mindset of, okay, do not want to make a mistake, do not want to cost the team a game right now, and you can already see that starting to come through in the play, but there's still 30 seconds of regulation here.
Yeah, Breezy's clear across the middle. It actually will be followed up. That's a good pass! The shot isn't there from Foxy. Calcify tries to find Pops. Instead, it's more attacking pressure from Wales in front of the line. Another diving save from Classy, and we continue to see that Wales pressure. Scotland, I don't understand where these defensive nerves come from. They've got 10 seconds left until overtime.
10 seconds until overtime. Can the Scots even get there, though? Wales are not going to let them off easy just yet. One last attack for the Welsh squad. Breezy's there. Denied. It'll roll down in the corner. A second overtime in as many games.
Oh my goodness. These teams, they know what's on the line. They're playing like it, and my hat is off to Scotland right now. I was not expecting them to be quite this competitive. We knew it would be close. Now they have a chance to play defense once again. Not really the chance they're looking for. They want to be playing offense. Still Classy Vibing through the corner. Actually, might be able to make the second defender beat. Not quite. Breezy is there for the save.
Will not quite get the second defender spike, but here's Calcify going across the entire face. Foxy will not get a Poxy touch. That was an excellent touch, an important one as well as the last player back. Classy Vibing is now struggling to get this one clear. Has been playing such an important defensive role for this team, but now is stuck on the side wall. And this mid boost is going to go the way of Breezy. Never what you want to see as an opposing team. Breezy with a full tank of boost near the halfway line. Neither Tadpole, who is pushing that one towards the net. We're already a minute deep in overtime. Scotland have had a chance to briefly foray into the opposition half. Didn't lead to much, but that's more than they got in almost the last minute and a half of gameplay beforehand.
Yeah, here we go. Pops now going back up the other way. Gets the reset, but isn't able to put it quite in. As we do watch Calcify try to play through that corner. Going there. And instead we go back up the other way once more. Wales, they're so consistent on this attack. Foxy's first shot isn't quite going to be a goal. Breezy from underneath is going to try to lob it back up the other way.
Watch
Ball's going to fall in a
Tadpole.
very dangerous spot. This should be in, and it is. Wales advance to Commonwealth game qualifying point.
Do Scotland have a reverse sweep in them?
Whoa,
It's
I
going
don't know.
to be so hard from this point. With 2 overtime losses, Wales have put themselves in the best possible position to not only qualify for the Commonwealth, but to do so in an undefeated manner, not even dropping a game. That's not to say that they haven't been contested, because they have been. Scotland have made this incredibly hard for them, but it's just that extra little edge. Breezy, and especially Tadpole, massive credit to them. They have just been ice in the veins. They have clutched up when they need to. Some experience showing through there for sure.
And I feel like I go back to what I was trying to highlight at the start of the series. What could be the edge in this one is the mechanics, if nothing else. And we are seeing that a bit more on the attack out of Wales than what we are necessarily seeing out of Scotland. Scotland's great at getting good touches. Like, they're consistent touches, they're strong touches, but you're never getting the resets, you're never getting the flips, you're never getting that unknown factor. And it's not necessarily just the style points, it makes a defense hesitate, it makes a defense play further back. And again, Scotland, to their credit, when it comes to that goal line defense, they are phenomenal. They can park that bus and hold it for a long time. However, eventually, when you're against an opponent that can attack you from so many ways, something is going to break. Even if it's just one little moment, as what's been the case our past 2 games. One little thing is broken, and all of a sudden, Wales, they're now on match point.
Players are on the pitch. That match, it's underway. It is just potentially 5 minutes of regulation Rocket League that stand between Wales and Birmingham. Will they manage to get through cleanly? Will Scotland start a fight back here in Game 3? Calcify may look to do it early. Breezy, though, he's so cool under pressure.
I mean, everyone has actually been quite phenomenal under pressure. That is not something I was expecting. I was expecting to see more cracks, more unforced error, a little bit of sloppier play, but for the most part, both these teams have been so controlled. So realistically, a credit to both sides right now. However, Wales, the favorites, 1 game away. You have to feel like this is going to be the beginning of the end. However, just like the last game, it is Scotland out of the gate swinging first.
Yeah, but the Welsh defense is holding strong still. I mean, they've spent a lot of time attacking. They're proving they can do it at the other end too. A bit of a miss on the bump. It doesn't matter. As I've said it before today, I'll say it again. Sometimes just going for the bump is enough to make it awkward for the defender. Vibing has to go earlier than he'd like, and Foxy takes full advantage.
Yeah, you're talking about, you know, just going for the bump, applying the pressure. I'm talking about that mechanical edge where they can come from anywhere as well. And Foxy getting in on that. What a goal. What a go-ahead point. And if Scotland is unable to find a response, oh, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Breezy gets the second, and Wales pulls further ahead.
This is going to be so tough. Once again, physical play, Tadpole with a demo, and then makes it awkward for Pops. And that means that within our first minute, Wales have opened up a 2-0 lead. One of the biggest leads we've seen in this series. It has been so tight the entire time. And Wales are absolutely asking the question of Scotland. Do you have anything left in the tank? Do you have anything else you can throw at us? So far, the answer, a resounding silence from the Scottish side.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, but game number 1, we saw an early Wales 2-0 lead as well, and that one had a 5.5-minute overtime. True. Scotland's not done yet, and this is the player I want to be seeing. Calcify has been so critical for Scotland in the past. They're going to be kind of relied upon again, I feel like. If Scotland's going to get back in this game, Calcify has to have more of an impact on that offensive side of the field.
Yeah, it does need to really step up. Classy Vibing has been trying to. He's beating out 1. He tries to beat out a 2nd. He beats out a 3rd, I think, almost by mistake.
This
what
looks
a pass
very
that
good.
Would be, but Tadpole is there. The problem with making those plays on 0 boost is they take so long. By the time you get to the goal, the first player you beat is already back.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised, though, that Tadpole was able to rotate around before a defender as Breezy finds their second in Game 3. 3-0 lead now for Wales, and we're not even 2 minutes in.
Oh no, the Scottish team, it's all falling apart a little bit here in Game 3. They need to pull it together. Wales, you have to hope if you're Scotland right now that they get a little bit complacent, that they do start to maybe feel like they've won already, start booking those plane tickets in their mind to Birmingham. But it'll still take a mountain of effort for Scotland to make it through.
As we do see a setup through the corner, Tadpole's going to chase with it. Calcify, well, is actually going to be trying to leap forward. Does have to rotate back eventually. The Scotland defense, it's been resolute in the past. This game has been challenged more so than any of the other previous ones. And as time continues to tick away, Scotland eventually has to get that ball to the orange side of the pitch.
Yeah, time is running out for at least the first of those goals. You need to mount a large comeback here. 3 goals unanswered are what Scotland need to even contest this game. It's going to be incredibly difficult, especially when your boost is being denied. Tadpole, so smart on the pitch, demos the player in net as well. That just means the rotations will be a little bit slower for Scotland. It'll be that little bit harder to make this play actually work. That ball being killed, being slowed in the corner, that's exactly what Wales want at this point.
Yeah, and as that climb tick-tocks away, Wales getting ever closer to that trip to Birmingham. Again, August 6th is when these matches will be kicking off on that main event stage in Wales. They want to pack their tickets now. Foxy again with the reset, putting it through. A 4-goal lead now. Wales continues to pull further and further away.
I mean, sometimes you don't even need to involve another player in your physical play, right? You don't need someone else to clear the way when you can just do it yourself. Foxy, that was clean. And he manages to find another one. Here goes another.
And Foxy has been the most silent member on those Wales team, as was a little bit expected coming into this one. The youngest member, the least proven competitively. But in the game to push them ahead, Foxy has absolutely stepped up, showing, yeah, I can keep up mechanically with them. I can keep up speed with them. Fake reset into reset for the first goal. Yeah, I can do that. And then I'll just get a clean reset for another one later. Foxy has been on absolute fire. The confidence is there. The time is in their favor. Scotland, it's desperation time. 4 goals in just over a minute.
4 goals in a minute. It seems impossible. It might just be impossible at its start with a goal off this play. You have to feel, there it is. There it is. Calcify puts in a first.
Who else but Calcify has been the go-to player on Scotland in these pressure situations. Realistically, though, that came off an awkward read from Tadpole. Tadpole a little bit too eager, found that ball behind them. The commitment was there, though, and those are the types of plays that Scotland need to be going for, taking those risks, going for those what-if type situations if the defense has an awkward read. They're still in this technically, but they can't afford double commits like that. That was a big miss, and we are now looking at a 5-1 lead.
The key part of scoring 4 unanswered goals to get back in the game is that they need to be unanswered. And that is a response there. A double commit in front of net. Scotland throwing members at the ball, trying to make something happen. Has just left too much space in front of their own net. Breezy will always capitalise on those. And that does mean that we are back to that 4-goal lead right as things look like it might be the start of the turnaround for Scotland.
Yeah, and I think that is going to be the dagger. In fact, I'm going to say it right now. It's victory lap time for Wales. They can take that lap all the way to Birmingham because this team is going through.
Well, 3 goals.
No, I'm
40
still standing
seconds.
by it. I'm still standing by it.
Okay.
Wales has it. It's good. It's good. It's good.
It'll turn
Good
out
goal
that
from
was the
Calcify.
breezy dagger. Scotland will climb back up to a 4-5, but that 1 goal will prove the difference. That's my prediction right now. Either way, I'm looking forward, I tell you, to these Birmingham games. Either of these teams going would have been great. Wales have proven probably to be the better team. They will play against the Oceanic team, formerly known as Cactus Minions, now known as Team Australia, against Team World Connected, the team that plays under the banner ATK in SSA. And seeing Breezy against those players, seeing Foxy and Tadpole get their chance on the international stage, it is going to be such an incredible LAN.
I think it's going to be a fantastic showing, that is for sure. Final 10 seconds now until it is official in the books. This Wales team, I mean, you highlighted some great teams. I think Wales is that one step better as well. I look at this lineup, I think Wales has a legitimate chance for that gold medal. Granted, we haven't seen what England has to offer yet, but I still stand by my statement. Wales is going to be a tough team to beat. They should be a favorite, and if you are from the country itself, you should be proud of your team today, because as the ball hits the ground, Wales goes undefeated in the European Regional Qualifiers.
Undefeated. Ladies and gentlemen, these Dragons fly to Birmingham, as that is a fantastic performance. You have to be scared of them at LAN, especially given that this is a team with experience. This is not a team that we look at and say they are going to crumble on stage. They're going to give it their all. They're going to give us the show we wanted. And what a show they gave us in this final series. It takes two teams to do that, though. Commiserations to Scotland. They gave everything they had. It just wasn't quite enough, but 2 overtimes and one of them 5 minutes long, Formal.
Yeah, and again, I'm not surprised that we saw the sweep after that 5.5 minute overtime. For Scotland, the underdog team, to fall up short after what was 3 minutes, it felt like, of consistent attacking pressure that they were just holding on to, popped so many diving saves. But it wasn't meant to be. And to bounce back from that, to even take the next game to an overtime, I think is beyond admirable. But 2 overtime losses, too much to really bounce back from. Game 3 does get away from them. But to Scotland, as well as the rest of the teams, to Jersey, Northern Ireland, as well as Gibraltar, this event could not exist without them competing. It's been a fantastic showing for all of the European region. And I have to say, out of all these regionals we did, this one had some of the best competition we have seen.
Yeah, it was incredibly exciting, and I think was the perfect way to round out our qualifiers, to set the stage for the Commonwealth Esports Championships happening in August in Birmingham. The attendees for the Rocket League will be England. It'll be Team World Connected, 3 South African players playing from the region. Kenya, Canada, India, Jamaica, Australia, and finally, locked in today, Wales will be joining them. A massive thank you to the Global Esports Federation, to the Commonwealth Games Federation, who are making all of this possible. A massive thank you to the teams and the players that have taken part, and of course thank you to the viewers for joining us all here. We hope that you'll join us back for the main event when the Commonwealth Games happens, and we'll see you all then. Looking forward to August.
I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out shout it out to the sky till I see grace to the night.